Hello everyone and welcome back to Coffee Talk with Karen B. It's good to be here with y'all today. Let me just check and make sure everything's going just fine. Seems to be okay. Happy Moonday, raised by gypsies on Rockfin. Yes, my stream started on Rockfin today, but you know what's really weird is I thought that it didn't last week because I didn't change a stream key. So then today I went in to change the stream key and it looked like it was exactly the same. But whatever. I don't understand. It could have just maybe not started because of the technical difficulties I was having at the time, but whatever. Chicago Artist is here. Good to see you. Gregory May, Tony Coriolis, Carrie Brownyard, hello. Pig Dog, and Billingtano. Thunder Chicken's here already. Aisling 717, Spicy Sarah, Grand Rising amigos. Yes, it's good to see you all. What happened to Luke Ford? I have no idea. Do you know what happened? Please share. I don't. Who is Luke Ford, by the way? For now, Billington, Chicago Arts Billington levels are a little low on the mics. Really? Let me see. Hold on one sec. Thunder Chicken, you're famous. What happened? Let's see. First, let me bring up this and this so I can see them at the same time. Check. Chickity check. I'm also not talking that super loud. Is it really that bad? How is it now? Is that making a difference? Boston Ray Mud Flood. Jana Hay. Valley Parks. Grand Rising all. Audio perfect. Oh, okay. Alright. Thank you, my sound engineers, for taking care of me. Here, I'm gonna lower this just a touch. I'll just hide that in case I need to get back to it. Alright. Perfect before, now it's louder. Is it too loud? You always struggle to hear me and the guests are super loud as with videos you play? That's weird. Got our land cleared? Really? I want to see. I'd like to see your land that got cleared. That's pretty cool. No, not too loud. Okay. Alright. Is there anybody on Rumble? I don't know. Oh, here, let me put this here. So, what's up, everybody? Doug Marr. Hey, Doug Marr. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. If you hear stuff in the background, the kitten is up here messing around with stuff. Foxy, what do you got over there? Silly kitty. She's playing with plastic. So anyway, 3 years went by fast. Wow, 3 years, that's crazy. It did go by fast. And a lot's happened in 3 years, eh, Doug? A lot's happened in 3 years. A lot's happened in 1 year. Not wild. Yeah, I'm sure you guys can hear the cat. Hello, Earth First, Space Later, Toro Onosuke Ido. And anybody I missed, I'm sorry if I missed anybody. I think I said hello to you guys. 35 months, yeah, dude. Crazy. It's crazy. I'm still here though. How about y'all? Are you guys still with me? You must be if you're here, all like 40 of you. It's good to see you. I feel like this is like a it's like become just like a scheduled Monday morning catch up call amongst friends, and I'm totally okay with that, by the way. A lot can happen in a year. Yeah. And I feel bad because I didn't join Globebusters yesterday, but I started working part-time and it requires me to leave the house, and well, it's not a glamorous job. Kind of sucks, but gotta do what you gotta do when times get tough, you know what I'm saying? But I can still be here Monday morning for now. So we'll see how long that lasts. We'll see. Call it like it is, Karen. We are the cult of Karen diehards. Oh, Billington, it sucks. I'll be honest with you. It is not a glamorous job, and it's really not very much money, but I don't know, man. I wasn't getting hired for like a normal job, so I had to figure something else out, you know what I'm saying? Space Miner, hey y'all, been a minute, hope all's been well. Hey Space Miner. I think it's great, got very tiring with globe trolls in the chat every week. And what do you mean, what globe trolls? I'll move in with any of you for a short time. Boston Ray, what are you talking about? Don't you have like children and stuff? Ready to be pulled out of Florida and give me some land somewhere peaceful. I need to be redeployed. The term is order ab KO. It's easier to get a job when you have a job. Valley Parks, that's the truth. So anyway, no event this year. It's been postponed, as we have been discussing. And I'm okay with it. But also it means, you know, I gotta do other things. I'm just burnt on basically the whole thing that, you know, that whole format of speakers and that whole scene, and I don't know, things just got too weird. And I wanted to change it up, but and so that's what we're doing. But we're going to not rush it like we were doing before. We're going to take our time to do it right, which I'm happy about. I'm happy about this. It's really not that bad here. But Liz is coming to town, and I have been talking to someone in the background about starting another project that is not live streaming, and it is not like your average YouTube video. It's like a legit, real project that I'm excited about, and I'm not going to give any more details than that about it yet. So I have that going. So I don't know, being online, Monday might be the only days you see me, if at all, at certain points. Liz will be here Thursday. That's right. Oh my gosh, just a couple of days from now. Today is the solstice. And Billingtano and Melissa, Accidental Alchemist, will also be coming down. So we'll have a small get-together here instead of like a full-blown event. It'll be fun. And I might take advantage of you guys being in town to make you get on camera and make you talk into the camera too a little bit. Because people need to hear from other real people need to hear from other real people. You know what I'm saying? So I think that would be cool. It's ridiculous how low the pay is here, but you get by. That's what they want. They want people to just get by. So you become like, you're like a perpetual slave. We need younger generations to learn the trade. Machining isn't a job you can just train in a week and they're good. Yeah. Yeah, I told my son to learn a trade and he listened to me. He did. I'm so proud of him. He's such a good boy. Well, he's a young man now. He's an adult. He's on his own. Mostly. He's in his early 20s, but he learned HVAC. So now he's working doing that. And he'll always have a job. And I'm just so proud of him. He's such a good young man. And to think that these crappy schools tried to get me to drug my child. F you guys. F you guys. You leave my boy alone. I got this. So anyway, I'm super proud of him. I would love to be there. Oh, Chicago artist. Well, next year, dude. Listen, Chicago artist. We want to have music and art at our event, and you are an artist, so in 2026, you should plan to be here with some art. Or you can come early, and you can help us make some art that can be for the event. We can, like, make it all mystical, magical, like, you know what I'm saying? Seriously, I know a few flat earth artists that are local that I've been thinking about this. I've been thinking about stuff, which is another, I'm glad that we're postponing, because now I have time to, like, really plot and scheme, and, like, I know how to procure stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, anyway, I want to start tapping my resources, and I want to have, like, just a really beautiful, like, colorful, you know, stimulating experience, you know, on this property. It's 55 acres. It's a wonderland. Like, how cool would it be to have, like, random things just in the woods? So anyway, that is my goal, is to procure stuff like that, you know, for this event. I'll be making stuff too. I got some years, I got some skills under my belt. Anyway, I think that would be awesome. HVAC is a great job, especially down south. Well, he doesn't live here. He lives in the valley, the Central Valley in California. So just same thing though, because it gets like, it'll be like 115 degrees for 2 weeks straight out there. So he's definitely always going to have a job here, there. I mean, so yeah. HVAC goes everywhere. Yeah, exactly. And I think he does more like commercial stuff too. Sure, I'll come earlier and start crushing. That would be fun, right? If you can build, grow, or fix the physical, you'll always have a job. Exactly. Knowing how to do stuff with your hands, it's invaluable. It will always be invaluable. Always. You know? So, yeah. I love my boy. Hello, kitty cat. What are you doing? Foxy. Up north needs HVAC too, but more so for heating. Yeah. What moon tower? Hey, fathead. Seriously, I want anybody who's going to be participating in this event to just be thinking about the coolest, most, you know, the coolest experience that we could create for people to come in and just be like, this is awesome. Could have some interactive things going on, some interactive displays. I really think people need to know more about polarization of light, because I don't think most people do. My daughter asked me the other day, she says, Mom, how does a lunar eclipse work in flat Earth if the Earth doesn't go between the sun and the moon? And I said, well, the polarization of light. And she's like, what do you mean? And so I played her this video that I found where this guy, he it's like 11 or 12 minutes long, and he explains how light is polarized, and he goes through you know, horizontal polarization, vertical polarization, circular polarization. And he shows different ways how it can work. And it's like, she was like, oh, okay. And I was like, yes, this is what we need to be teaching people about. This is what we need. We need to have like some polar filters and create some like interactive thing where we show how the sky is polarized light and where the sun is in the sky changes, you know, the polarization from your point of view. I mean, it's kind of crazy. And I do believe it is the answer to a lot of questions regarding eclipses and also 24-hour sun, circumpolar sun. So anyway, there's that. There's that. A lot of people don't know shit, Karen B. Yes, I agree. Working on a promo for Jamming the Plane. I'll get it to you when it's done. All right, cool, brother. Should be a dump truck driver. A dump truck driver. You know what's funny? You want to hear something funny? Ted, my handsome Viking boyfriend, used to be a dump truck driver. Ted was a dump truck driver in Seattle area for a while. Isn't that funny? Anyway, I think we need to teach people about that stuff because there's no need to cry fake about stuff that really happens. I mean, how insulting to our people, to Austin, who has remained like the same as he was before he went on that stupid Antarctica trip. You know, now people act like he's like a faker or a liar. I mean, it's just ridiculous. So I think people, you know, we need to educate our people a little bit on ways that these things can work where we don't have to say that everything's fake. You don't have to just deny reality. Reality matters. And so anyway, how it can work in reality. Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday, Cami. Polaroid filters and light filtering. Yeah, exactly. A cement truck. Happy equinox. Is it equinox? What did I say before? I said solstice, I think. Yes, equinox. Although, for me, the equinox is technically on the 25th. Because your day length is 12 hours and 1 minute and 27 seconds. And today, the daylight length is, or the day length is 12 hours and 8 minutes. So they average it out, but actually it's different in different places. Yeah, my bad. Sorry. Hey, listen, I got a lot going on. Don't judge me. Or judge me, I don't give a fuck. What if I'm a horrible driver? How do you know I would be a good dump truck driver? You never even drove in the car with me. Ted acts like his life is in danger, like every second when I'm driving in the car. pretty funny. He's like in the passenger seat jumping like, need to stop compartmentalizing life for kids. Yeah, exactly. Well, I homeschooled my children through Convid. Like, as soon as they sent them home for remote learning, and my children were like, in like 2nd and 5th grade or something like that. They were in elementary school. They were young elementary school children. You can't put young elementary school children in front of a computer for the length of a school day and expect them to be paying attention to the computer. It's just impossible. It became a nightmare very quickly, and I started homeschool, and I went to the school and I pulled my children out of school, and thank God I did. I think it was the best thing that ever happened for us. How many folks know how to drive a 5-speed anymore? I can drive a manual. I can, because I learned in a manual. And I took my driver's test in a manual, so I know how to drive a manual. Hi, kitty. Won't you come here and say hi? Look it. Oh, yes. Yes. Hello, kitty cat. Meow, meow. Look. Hello, little one. Do you want to start purring? Do you want to start purring for us? This little baby kitty that showed up in our garage. Look at her. Are you gonna step on my... Don't end my stream. Don't step on my keyboard and end my stream. I am Charlie Kirk. What? I'm about to take a deep sea and see you guys catch. See you guys in a little bit. Isn't the equinox a Greek thing? No, the equinox is just equal day and night. Equinox, equal night. Is there a hologram in the tent where Charlie Kirk was killed? Not that I know of. I don't know. I officially stopped looking at Charlie Kirk stuff. Like, I got burnt out on it already pretty fast. I mean, you know, everybody's got like some video, some blurry greeny video, and they zoom in on this one thing, this little 2-frame, like it jumps. They're like, look at this. Is this the bullet? Is this where the killer was? And it just is so exhausting. And I'm like, oh my God, these people are... I just started to bail on it because... You know, there was that one video where the guy shares, he says he thinks it was an exit wound, but then I don't know, because then I talked to friends who shoot guns, and they're like, no, I don't think so. You know, blah, 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 the exit wound of a 30-06. And now, all of a sudden, there's the magic bullet that got lodged in his neck, and his neck stopped the bullet, and Charlie's the man of steel. Like, dude, I just have psyop fatigue. I seriously have psyop fatigue. It's, you know, whatever. All I know is it's the juice. It's the juice. The juicy people are desperate. They're scrambling to take control over every media outlet. And there was that TPUSA was a major Christian outlet that was being led by Charlie Kirk. Clearly, they put a hole in his neck so that they could take it over just because they want it, you know, that's how they do. Oh, you're not going to be loyal to us? We just assassinate you. Okay. I mean, it's not even like an unknown thing. Trying to pass laws where you can't talk about the juicy people. Can't criticize is raw hell. You know, can't do any of these things. So, psyop fatigue, man. Over it. Like, I see what's going on. I would just like the rest of America to wake up and see what's going on. You know? People need to take control of their own lives. They need to take control over the education of their children. They need to make sure that their children are aware of things. That's just the way it is. But I'm not gonna, but to sit there online and argue about where the bullet came from, this guy, the patsy, like, clearly, we already know there's mind control, things that happen. This guy could have been, the shooter could probably, most likely be some sort of patsy or Manchurian candidate or whatever, who knows. He probably didn't act alone. He probably had some, like, psycho, controller helpers or whatever. Who knows? We still don't even 100% know the story about JFK. And that was a president. All we know is who was behind it and what they're trying to do. And people need to wake up and start standing up for themselves, everybody. And not put up with this shit. And not let them take away our free speech. You know, and our right to self-determination. Fuck that. I'd be terrified if I saw a woman cement truck driver. There was an earthquake in California. Did your mom feel it today? I don't know. I saw that, and I saw that it was epicentered in the East Bay. My mom lives in the foothills going up towards Tahoe, and it was very early in the morning. It's possible that she was asleep, and if it could have been felt where she was, it was probably not enough to wake her up. So my assumption is no, that she didn't feel it. It's a red herring rabbit hole. It's a distraction. They're the pedo protector government. I mean, we all know who's behind this. The transgenderism, the transhumanism, like, we can all see it. It's all out there in the open to see, you know, and if you talk about it, you're an anti-Semite. Which I don't care if people call. I don't care. Give a shit what people call me. Kitty now knows that the keyboard is off limits. Well, she just wants to go play. Hi, little one. She's down here again. Do you want to come up here? Because in my office, it's actually pretty big. And there's lots of stuff in here for her to mess around with. Fatigue. Yeah, seriously. Used to drive one of those enormous SUVs. I never could parallel park that thing, and it got 8 miles per gallon. Hello, accidental alchemist. Well, on my latitude, that's the closest to equal day and night, Tony Coriolis. It's different on different latitudes. Distraction from the Epstein files. It's a distraction from everything is a distraction from everything, and I think all of their stuff is being blown wide open on multiple fronts, and it's like, you can tell there's just like chaos being sown on purpose. Order ab chaos, you know. Hello. Oh. There's a little kitty ASMR for you. How do you like that? Distractions to keep you from your true purpose. After what Israel has done, they do not have the right to exist, in my humble opinion. Well, I would agree with that. It's gonna have to be some pretty thick steel to stop an 06. Yeah. Brought to you by the English. Oh, did you see that Keir Starmer? He says that the UK officially recognizes Palestine, the state of Palestine. Did you guys see that? And he's wanting a two-state solution. Yeah, Charlie's wife, his widow, she's sussy AF, if you ask me. That's where there's something going on back there. Where have I bookmarked? No, I didn't. Let's see. Yeah, today to revive the hope of peace for the Palestinians and Israelis and a two-state solution, the United Kingdom formally recognizes the state of Palestine. Yeah, after it's already been freaking destroyed. After it's been destroyed. You know, after they blew up all of their infrastructure, bombed all their hospitals, bombed all their mosques, bombed churches, Christian churches, bombed all their schools, like destroyed it, everything, the whole thing. The body probably held up better being down south. Winters are rough up here on cars. What? Oh. I'm not dragging out my PSYOP season decorations. I'm putting up the Halloween decor and that's it. Exactly. $7-Eleven was a part-time job. That's funny. Or are the Epsteins just in a distraction from another distraction? Layers and layers of distraction nonsense. Well, I think the Epstein thing is a legitimate scandal because there's witnesses, there's dozens of women. Some took the money and they had to shut up and never talk about it again. Some refused to take the money that was set aside in a settlement because they had a settlement fund and they didn't take the money, and some of them spoke out. Some of them have already died, like Virginia Giuffre, you know, so, you know, there is something to that. And I also think that if you look into that whole Epstein rabbit hole, it's not just about human trafficking and selling, you know, underage minors for sex. It's also about human experimentation, genetic experiments. They were doing all kinds of things with these people in their bodies. I mean, you know, look at how they're. Somebody wrote a medical paper about how there's a certain genetic group, Ashkenazi Jews, and that aren't affected by the vaccines, right? They're the ones who get the least effects from these vaccines. It's almost like, what's up with that? So, you know, I don't know. I think there's a deeper, darker rabbit hole that is, you know, people focus on the trafficking, and that's horrible too. All of it's horrible. But then there's also the whole transhumanist experimentation stuff that's going on too, and I think it's all related. And if you look into it and you look into like who, you know, was hanging out with who and who was associated with who, it's really crazy. It's crazy. There's a lot of dark things going on today, like things that almost sound like they're out of a sci-fi movie. Oh, Kitty's on attack mode. Ow. It's my flesh. My flesh. Okay, go. Go, little one. Go. Breeding slaves, too. Suck at driving in verse. Crazy cat, Lady Crystal, is one of the most beautiful. Yeah, that cat has this crazy loud purr. Even when she was just a tiny little, she couldn't have been more than 10 weeks. Maybe even not 10 weeks. When she showed up here, just by herself, out of the woods, all skinny and scrappy looking. And I spent some, and I found her in the garage, and I had to sit out there in the garage and like gain her trust. I spent a bunch of time, and then she came out, and as soon as I started petting her, it was like the switch came on. It was like like right away, and I was like, oh my goodness. And she even had a loud purr then, and she was just a tiny little thing. Now she has become our house kitty, and we love her. Has to do with RH blood too. Yes, exactly, Tommy. Genetics and technology. Yes, exactly. All that stuff. All that stuff. You know? So, things in the world are very dark and almost dystopian at this time. Even though there's a lot of people walking around thinking like that it's just life is normal, you know, we're just in a recession or the economy sucks right now. But I don't know. I try not to be Debbie Downer, you know, but we just have to focus on each other and maintain our friendships with each other and back each other up when we need it as best we can. So anyway, that's about all it is. Gotta love the cat distribution system. Exactly. Exactly. It is exactly like the cat distribution system. It's like the cat just got deposited at this house. Anyway, she's sweet, and then she tries to kill you. Draws blood. Isolate and insulate. The tests continue. Yeah. So anyway, do you guys? How long is this? Is it?
In the face of the growing horror in the Middle East, we are acting to keep alive the possibility of peace and a two-state solution. That means a safe and secure Israel alongside a viable Palestinian state. At the moment, we have neither. Ordinary people, Israeli and Palestinian, deserve to live in peace, to try to rebuild their lives free from violence and suffering. That's what the British people desperately want to see. Yet, almost 2 years after the barbaric attacks of October the 7th, hostages are still held by the terrorists of Hamas.
I call bullshit. I don't think there's any terrorists. There's no there's no hostages, not terrorists. There's no hostages. They have leveled that country. How do they know that if there were really still hostages being held by Hamas, which is clearly a Israel-backed entity, and there's even documentation that Netanyahu allowed Qatar or told Qatar to send them like $30 billion a year to prop up Hamas. Yeah, I don't think so.
Images show the hostages suffering and emaciated. Hamas even...
Emaciated. Where's the images? How come they didn't put the images in here? Oh, where's the emaciated hostages? Please do tell me. You know, whenever they release one of these hostages, they look fine. They're like, hi, I'm back from my vacation. It's ridiculous. Why are you wet? What were you doing? Are you licking yourself? And anyway, if there were really hostages, Israel has leveled that place, so they would have probably killed them already.
Refuse to release all the bodies of the dead. I have met British families of the hostages. I see the torture that they endure each and every day. Pain that strikes deep in people's hearts across Israel and here in the United Kingdom. The hostages must be released immediately, and we will keep fighting to bring them home. Let's be frank. Hamas is a brutal terror organization.
Propped up by Israel.
Call for a genuine two-state solution is the exact opposite of their hateful vision. So we are clear. This solution is not a reward for Hamas, because it means Hamas can have no future, no role in government, no role in security. We have already prescribed and sanctioned Hamas, and we will go further. I have directed work to sanction other Hamas figures in the coming weeks. Meanwhile, the man-made humanitarian crisis in Gaza reaches new depths. The Israeli government's relentless and increasing bombardment of Gaza, the offensive of recent weeks, the starvation and devastation are utterly intolerable. Tens of thousands have been killed, including thousands as they tried to collect food and water. This death and destruction horrifies all of us.
Yeah, it's been going on for 2 years. Why didn't you guys speak up a long time ago?
We have evacuated the first group of sick and injured children to the United Kingdom to be treated by the NHS. And we continue to increase our humanitarian support. But still, nowhere near enough aid is getting through. We call again on the Israeli government to lift the unacceptable restrictions at the border, stop these cruel tactics, and let the aid surge in. With the actions of Hamas, the Israeli government escalating the conflict, and settlement building being accelerated in the West Bank, the hope of a two-state solution is fading. But we cannot let that light go out. That is why we are building consensus with leaders in the region and beyond around our framework for peace. This is a practical plan to bring people together behind a common vision and a series of steps, including the reform of the Palestinian Authority, that takes us from a ceasefire in Gaza to negotiations on a two-state solution. We will keep driving this forward. As part of this effort, I set out in July the terms upon which we would act in line with our manifesto to recognise Palestinian statehood. That moment has now arrived.
Yeah, now that it's been completely leveled. Like, it just kills me.
The hope of peace
you guys couldn't say this maybe at least a year ago?
I state clearly, as Prime Minister of this great country, that the United Kingdom formally recognises the state of Palestine.
And its pile of rubble that it
more
is.
Than 75 years ago, as a homeland for the Jewish people. Today, we join over 100.
What did he say? Wait, hold on.
150 countries. Today, we join over 150 countries who recognise a Palestinian state also. A pledge recognized today as a homeland recognises the state of Palestine. We recognised the state of Israel more than 75 years ago as a homeland for the Jewish people.
Yeah, with
Today,
your Balfour
we join
Declaration.
over 150 countries.
It's your fault
who
this shit is even
a
happening.
Palestinian state also. A pledge to the Palestinian and Israeli people that there can be a better future. We have seen it on our streets, in our schools, in conversations we've had with friends and family. It has created division. Some have used it to and fear, but that solves nothing. Not only must we reject hate, we must redouble our efforts to combat hatred in all its
Hegelian
forms.
dialectic.
We must channel our efforts, united together in hope, behind
look
a
at this
peaceful
horrible
future.
thing that's happening, and it's our fault. We did it. You know, we better do something. But now we're gonna have a solution. We recognize Palestinian state after we blew it the F up, completely out of existence, after we murdered 15,000 babies, or however many babies. That's probably a conservative number. Exactly. 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Exactly. Let me show this other thing I bookmarked. It was actually quite moving. I shared it. Let me think. Is it still here? Or maybe I just... No, let's see. I shared it the other day. This.
With Rob and Dr. Saya Aziz. We're two doctors from Australia. We're here in Gaza at the moment. We arrived in the middle in Al-Aqsa hospital first, where the situation was disastrous, where we're having kind of kids coming after a strike. With most of like, let's say 70 to 80% of our patients are kids and pregnant women. And the situation was terrible, and there was no water, no food, and people living in the hospital everywhere. It was very common for a person to be the only survival of their family. Everyone has lost most of their family. It was very hard for us to get in, and there was a lot of restrictions. We were not allowed to bring any baby formula, any money, and the cards don't work. We are hardly surviving and hardly able to help anyone. There's no equipment. They're down to the very basics, running out of working scissors. There's no soap in the theatre room to scrub in, no gloves, nothing at all. We're treating patients on the floor, mass casualty after mass casualty. They're using all the weapons. However, when we came north to Al-Shifa Hospital, it's a nightmare. It is a nightmare. We're doing this video because we know that we might die at any time, unfortunately. Our accommodation is in the old delivery room. As you can see, this is the hospital. It's all bombed, but the bombing is still happening. When we came from the middle to the north, we saw people are evacuating. Instead of 20 minutes on the road, it took us around 8 hours to reach. As soon as we reached, bombing after bombing with the Apache, F-35, F-16, rowboats, all sorts of weapons attacking us from everywhere around the hospital. The number of patients and the number of dead bodies arriving are ridiculous. So we're just basically people dead. We have more than 1,500 people still dead under the rubble in the hospital. Today they bombed just in front of the main entrance of the hospital. 2 days ago they did the same. The issue is we leave our accommodation is an outside walking distance, so we could be at any time at that side of the bomb as an international. We're not even we've been told we'll be given an evacuation order. No even evacuation order as international people. So the situation here is just disastrous. I can't describe it. In the middle of the mass casualty today, there's no internet and no electricity. We're still out of Wi-Fi, so we can't communicate with our family, we can't put our picture up. And they're asking us to stay silent, otherwise our life will be in danger. What does that supposed to mean? We're just telling you what's happening. We're not allowed to show the photos because it's so traumatic and not allowed to post. But we're documenting this as part of what's happening for the future. Because someone needs to see this. Someone needs to help those poor people. Most of them are just kind of people, or they're just kind of hitting things randomly. There are doctors. Doctors here don't come to work because they're dead. Their family members are dead. Or they've been told to go to the south, at least to save themselves from being killed. So anyone who stays here, they know that they will be killed and they can't come back. So the situation needs to stop. I don't know what to say, but I'm asking for help, and I know that our life is in danger too. So if the help was kind of coming from any part of the world, just can anyone be able to stop this terror and horror, please? Anyone, could you please stop it? People here had enough. We had enough. There's no word to describe. Not sure, sorry, Dr. Sai.
Right? It's like, can anyone stop it? I mean, we've been saying that for so long. Can anyone stop the terror and the horror? Oh, U.S. and is just throwing billions and billions of dollars to continue this sort of thing, like what they're describing. It's been going on for so long. For so long. Anyway. He's doing the sign of the diamond sign in his hands. Well, I don't know. It looked like he was making a circle to me. I don't know. He's full of shit. He's a politician. He's full of shit. He doesn't need to do hand signals for you to know that he's full of shit. I mean, he's a politician. He's a leader of the United Kingdom. Or not the leader, but he's the prime minister of the United Kingdom. So, yeah. KJV, am I blocked? No. Why do you think you're blocked? Nepal style is gaslighting. Yeah. There is no British or other nations hostages. Those nurses stand in front of a green screen. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't think so. Because I've seen countless videos. There's satellite imagery, not to mention, you know, whatever. See, I am not one of those everything's completely fake and fabricated people. It's all fake. Everything's a green screen. Everything this. I mean, sometimes that's going on, but not everything is a complete fabrication. Now, the motive behind it, there's messaging in it, but that Palestine really is being blown the F up. Thousands and thousands of people have been murdered, slaughtered, killed. Children have been shot in the neck. I mean, over 200 press people have been killed. You know, and I feel like that is part of, that's part of a way to have caused division, even amongst people who are truth seekers, right? Because now you have this whole faction of people who have been brainwashed to think that everything is absolutely 100% fake. Nothing ever happens in real life. Nothing ever bad ever happens. Nobody ever gets killed. No bombs ever get dropped. It's all complete fabrication. Well, I'm sorry. That's just not reality. That's just not reality. It's just not. You know, it's just not. And I think that by people being put into that sort of train of thought where everything is a complete fabrication, well, now you have been programmed to not care about what's going on. And it's not that you should believe the official narrative of everything, but it's like those are two polar opposites, right? It's a polarity, right? You have the group over here that, you know, that one side of it, like one extreme would be believing the official narrative of everything, and everything that's said on the news you think is true. Whatever Trump says is true. Trump always is right. I believe everything Trump says. If you don't believe what Trump says, you're not a Trump supporter. You know, Israel has, you know, all that bullshit. That's like one end of the spectrum. And then the other spectrum is like, everything's completely fake. All the world, you know, these people are all actors. None of these people are who they say they are. Every woman in Hollywood is actually a man. You know, the nurses are standing in front of a green screen. That's not real. They're not really blowing people up over there. None of this is really happening. It's all just a show for you to manipulate you. And while I do think people are being manipulated, people really do get slaughtered. Bombs really do get dropped. People really do get murdered. And what you have to realize is who is ultimately behind all of this shit. Okay? And what obviously it's not what they tell us, clearly, but we can look at who pays for all this stuff, look at who's backing what, you know, follow the money. Look at where this money's coming from, and it all leads back to juicy billionaires, you know? Mr. Yeah, when your head turns. Yeah, because I have it set to like pan from side to side. So like one is the left and one is the right. It's just my custom sound setup. 'Cause that's what I like. Found more evidence on the moon stuff? Oh, good lord. Harry, when all hopes and dreams are replaced with the cynical, humanity is lost. Exactly. I believe people want to think everything is faked as coping mechanism. It's easier to live for them. I guess so. I mean, it can be, it could be that, because it does get overwhelming, but, all people need to learn to regulate their intake of what's going on in the world. Like, take a break. That's what I've been doing. That's why, I left Facebook. I disabled my account. And I've been spending a lot less time on social media. I just have been spending more time at home, doing other stuff that has nothing to do with all of this. And I think it's better. Even talking to normal people, like normies, because they don't, come up to you and aren't like trying to tell you all kinds of crazy stuff. They're just like, hey, how's it going today? Oh, I'm good. Doing good. How are you? I'm doing just fine. Blah, blah, blah. Have a nice day. That sort of interaction I have come to really appreciate. Just a very innocuous, friendly interaction with strangers. No hostility. Just, hey, how's it going today? Very good. Good. How about you? Great. Thanks. Let me open the door for you. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, you're welcome. Like, I have come to really appreciate interactions like that. And not where like everybody's like, hey, you're shilling for so-and-so and you're a phony and can't believe, I just over it. Moon is just a helium balloon. Clean up all the loose ends so it's hard to trace back to source. Events really do get faked. So name one event that everybody thinks happened but actually didn't happen, besides the moon landing. Because that's the only... I was thinking about this. I'm like, well, the moon landing was a completely fabricated event. They did fabricate that. But it's easy to fabricate that because nobody's hanging out on the moon watching people come and go. Space travel is not a thing that is accessible to the everyday public. So that, of course, that event, those are fake, right? But that's an easy thing to fake because it's not something that can be independently verified or copied or recreated or redone by the average person, right? Like anything that involves like leaving Earth, quote unquote, which I don't think we can do. That would be a completely fabricated event. But I'm talking about like here on the terrestrial Earth, an event that besides a shooting, besides like, well, there's a couple of, okay, maybe Sandy Hook. So things do get faked. I'll say that. Yeah. But not everything is a complete fabrication. Like when you're talking about somebody getting murdered in front of like a whole squad full of people, I just don't think I think that person really was murdered. Now, I don't really, have any sort of emotional attachment to Charlie Kirk or anything. Like, I don't care. It doesn't really matter to me either way, right? I'm just seeing the effects of it all and seeing how it's being used to infringe on our free speech and take our rights away, and how it's making the government turn into like a totally totalitarian, freaking tyrannical fascist state. I mean, it's insane. They murdered a guy who championed free speech, and now they're attacking everybody's free speech using that dude as a reason to do it. It's insane. Handy hoax, yeah. The moon is the firmament? No, I'm sorry, I don't think so. Jesus on the cross probably didn't happen. I mean, okay. What's kind of frustrating about the 24-hour sun in Antarctica because so few people get to see it. But it can be seen, and it has been witnessed by many people over hundreds of years, so... And our people did see it. Nobody who went to Antarctica on that trip thinks anything was faked. Nobody. Except for people who didn't go. You know? But nobody who actually went thinks that it was faked. Now, they came back, you know, believing different things, saying different things, but they all say that they saw the same thing, including people who remain flat, as that would be, as the only one that I can think of is Austin, maybe Elizabeth, but she doesn't really talk much, but I don't want to talk for her, but, and we all know what happened to Jaren. He became a big clown. So, there you go. Schindler's List is fake. Well, that's a movie. Of course it was fake. Since learning about Effie, my mind tells me that all events are to hide where we live, a lie on a lie on a lie thing. Yeah. The globe is totally fabricated. Yes, it is. I lived in Connecticut. Sandy event is a 98% real to them. Wow. The character Charlie did die, the actor lives. See, that street truth, I do not hold that thought process. I do not. I think that he was seen and noticed early on, and one of his early mentors was a Christian Zionist that was like, so he was really indoctrinated with that sort of ideology. And he's very smart, very well spoken, very bright and charismatic. And so they had groomed him to sort of be like an upcoming Christian Zionist leader for young people in America. You know, because that's what this is. That's what a lot of this is to do with, like a big propaganda machine, right? If you don't keep the propaganda machine going, and training people to think the way that you want them to think, well, then they're going to start thinking for themselves and they're going to see through your bullshit. So they were training him to be that sort of propaganda machine, and he started to question things, right? Because the whole hive mind is questioning, right? And he started to see that his entire following was like disgusted with the genocide. Like everybody, most normal people in the world think it's wrong to kill innocent people en masse, like what's been going on with Israel and Palestine the past 2 years. And even before that, obviously, it's been going on for decades. But especially the past 2 years, where it has been day after day after day bombardment, where they have been leveling the entire place, murdering people every day in high definition for everybody to see, right? So they were trying to groom this man to be part of their propaganda network, right? And he was doing a very good job, right? Because I was disgusted by stuff I saw him saying early on. I was like, oh, F this guy. I'm not watching anything this tool says, right? Clearly he's just spreading propaganda. But then he started to ask questions recently, and it's very clear, I mean, that he just started to stray from that train of thought. He was getting pressured by all of his big billionaire juicy donors, right? They were putting pressure on him to tell him what to say, who to have on his platform, who to do debates with, and he was fighting back. And so they took him out. And then what happened? They got Ben Shapiro in there. Right? And they're all just like, I don't even see like a grieving widow. Like, what is up with the wife? And she's just taking over TPUSA, and she's just like letting all of these juicy people come in and start taking over and talking about what a great guy Charlie was. Oh no, we love Charlie, right? Because they're because they're gonna scream vehemently about how much they love Charlie because they were responsible for taking him out. They silenced him because he was starting to go away from their narrative. I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense. I mean, why would they fabricate a complete event that implicates Israel for doing something like that? It doesn't do them any favors. So you're going to have to make it make sense to me. Why would that be faked? And also, Charlie Kirk was 6'5", and he had a big freaking bobblehead. How do you hide somebody like that? I mean, the guy loved to talk. He loved to hear himself talk. Now, all of a sudden you think he's part of a ruse where he doesn't talk anymore and he doesn't get to live life with his children. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's something weird. He was definitely being manipulated by outside forces. And when he started to stray from what they were grooming him to do, they took him out. That's what it looks like to me, honestly. Gaza's been getting bombed for decades. I know. But you just said that who was it? Somebody was saying, I don't know. Very few experience 24-hour sun, but many experience southern rotation. It's always been there. Pretending it's not is cultish. Exactly. No, I wasn't paying attention to Charlie Kirk because I didn't really agree with his stance, so I didn't pay attention to him, but a lot of young people were paying attention to him, and his whole shtick was going around to colleges and debating, college-age people about, topics, various topics. And after, of course, I have gone and seen some clips of his stuff, and he was a free speech absolutist. He did start platforming people with absolutely opposing views to his, which was pissing people off, So they're like, oh, that one didn't work out. Delete. Let's start again. And that's what I think. And if you think that I am believing some psyop or whatever, I don't care. I just don't care because I don't believe the official story. I don't believe what we're being told about the shooter. I am not a ballistic expert. I don't really know the truth about the shooting. I just know that they deaded that MFer. He spewed a fountain of blood in front of God and everybody. And I believe that they murdered him on purpose in front of everybody because they were making an example out of him. They love to murder people in HD. They love for the world to see them spill the blood of the Goyim. They freaking love it. Blood magic needs blood, and he provided a lot of it. So, whether you agree with his politics or not, we're like a minority of our, how we understand things. We're definitely in the minority. So if you're talking about like mainstream, average person out in the world, young Gen Z or whatever, they don't have the mindset that we have for the most part. So let me open my phones. Maybe somebody can call and give your opinion. I mean, I don't think there's really a right or wrong. I don't know the truth about what happened with that guy. I'm just telling you what I think, and I could be wrong. But I do think that saying it's a complete fabrication, like it didn't even actually happen, is not true. Not really true. So the call-in number is 704-666-1776, and that's just my opinion. You don't have to agree with me. I liked that he was making the young critically think. It was a good thing, in my honest opinion, to open up the dialogue. Same with Peter Boghossian. Yeah. There is no conspiracies are now talking how CK is at Valhalla, while some previously questioned everything are now believing in what they see on the screen. But I don't believe everything. There's a truth has to be mixed with lies for it to be sold as truth. The lie has to contain some kernel of truth in it to actually grab hold, right? So if it's completely fake, where is the kernel of truth to make it grab hold? All the people that witnessed it. The guy that was talking to Charlie Kirk when he was shot, he even is like vocal, and he's like, "This is insane." Hey, Voy. Oh, did you go to, Conspiracy Music Guru's party? Oof. I hope you have a good time. I have yet to find anyone ever that I agree with what they say 100%. Yeah. Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Hey, Karen. That was pretty interesting. Listening to Keir Starmer, of all people, get on international television and start talking about, like he cares about Palestine or Palestinians.
Mm-hmm.
But as you played it, I realized, oh, okay. He said over and over and over, the hostages, over and over, just driving that home, rather than talking about how the whole October 7th thing was completely manufactured and orchestrated by Israel. But then the second thing that he did, over and over, he started screaming about hate, the emotion of hate. And no one's allowed to have any hate for anything. And we determine what hate is. And this is just all hate. We've got to stop the hatred.
Right. And there's like a whole thing about hate speech. No hate speech. We'll prosecute you for hate speech. It's like, the fuck is hate speech?
Right. That's the whole point. And he just throws in a little two-state solution talk. It should be a one-state solution, by the way, but he throws in a little two-state solution talk just to say, look how balanced I am. But we've got to stop all this hate. We never used to legislate emotions or even talk about emotions. I watched in the 90s in horror back then when they presented to all of us the idea of hate crimes. You know, no longer was anything just murder anymore. We have to legislate about people's emotions. And of course that morphed into legislating people's speech.
Yeah.
But now everyone's used to the idea, especially leftists, that, yeah, we've got to imprison or even kill people for things that we deem as hateful.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But especially the UK. Oh, my God. The UK, I just saw another one yesterday where the police showed up at someone's house and the mother answers the door and they're demanding the phone of her child. And this time it wasn't even for posting something they didn't like. It was for viewing posts that they didn't like.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. The UK is so far down that road. It's, man, I don't know if there's going to be any turning that around. But that's what they intend for us. So did you see, speaking of hate speech, did you see Pam Bondi? She went on 2 or 3 different podcasts and all of a sudden started screaming about how we need to demand hate speech laws.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was quite something. And she was doing it so obviously, well, in like a rabid fashion. It felt like we were all being tested to see how much she'd get pushback.
Yeah, I'm sure. A lot of what they do.
Everyone ready for this? Yeah. Pretty crazy. So I was thinking about what you said about Ted, how he tenses up when you're driving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it made me think about how it's a fact that drunk people survive car crashes really well because they're so relaxed and they just kind of go with it. So he's not doing himself any favors by tensing up. And You you should have him get drunk anytime that you drive, so that he's, number one, more relaxed and you don't have to listen to it. And number two, if you do crash, he'll survive.
That's funny.
Oh, one last thing that caught my ear. You said they wanted you to drug your son.
Mm-hmm.
So the school
Mm-hmm.
suggested that, I think, for ADD or what?
Yeah, they're like, maybe you should have him checked out and maybe you could get medication. And I was like, I'm not drugging my child.
Did they tell you that you could get a monthly payment? Literally, they call it a disability payment if you drug your son for that.
No, I still wouldn't have done it.
Well, well, of course, I'm obviously you wouldn't. But one of my brothers, years ago, I was surprised on a trip I took back home when he told me that he and his wife had drugged their daughter for that. And he said, yeah, the school and the teacher said, yeah, she'd really, really benefit for this. And I didn't say anything. I just bit my tongue. But I was thinking, well, he's got to know. He's got to know that they're what these schools are up to, and that it's not good to drug his daughter. She seemed like a completely normal child to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it wasn't like she had behavioral issues or anything like that. Anyway, a few years later, I was shocked to read about how these teachers and schools, they get money when they do this, but the parents get a monthly payment too.
Wow.
And they call it a disability. I don't know why that means they need money. It sure sounds like they desperately want to drug as many kids as possible.
Yeah.
And it's a good way to get parents to do it.
Mm. And what are the long-term effects of your mental development being on these drugs as a child?
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Those are amphetamines.
Yeah. It's crazy.
You can call it Ritalin or Adderall, whatever you want to call it, but those are amphetamines. It's like, man, it's insanity. And we wonder why everyone seems so fucked up nowadays. I mean, this has been going on for a good decade.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's all I've got to rant about.
All right. Thanks for calling.
All right. See ya.
Bye. I watched a video of a guy who was there when it happened. He will clearly have PTSD for years over it. Dude, how can you not? Yes, on the Kirk stuff, I completely agree. He died. People die by political violence and by a million other means. He was having an awakening that would have led others away from Zio. Exactly. And look at the stranglehold that Zionism has on this country. I mean, does anybody who think it's completely fabricated deny that Zionist people have a stranglehold on this country and on our government and are controlling the lawmaking and the decision making and contributing to the genocide of people? Like, are you guys going to deny that? I don't deny that, right? So then when you look at that and you look at the things that had been happening in the months leading up to Charlie Kirk's assassination, it totally makes sense that they took that guy out. 100%. They took him out. And then you got Pam, and this guy was and he says there's so many clips of him talking about how I want to, even hate speech is free speech. I'm a free speech absolutist. I want to hear what all these worst people have to say because then good people can come and speak in opposition to it, which I agree with him on that. So, you know, he was very influential for younger people. Of course, I didn't realize until after he died how influential he was, but I believe in. So let's just see what Pam Bondi has been doing since Charlie Kirk was assassinated.
I believe in the freedom of speech. if I am Attorney General. I will not politicize that office. I will not target people simply because of their political affiliation.
There's free speech and then there's hate speech. And there is no place, especially now, especially after what happened to Charlie, in our society. We will absolutely target you, go after you, if you are targeting anyone with hate speech, anything. And that's across the aisle.
I believe
With hate
in the
speech.
freedom of
What is
speech.
hate speech? Who defines hate speech? What is considered hate speech? I mean, that's some scary shit. That's a big deal. That is a big deal. I don't think people realize how big of a deal that is. Two-state solution sounds like an eternal plan of division. Yeah. Has Jaren and had Brenda on since going to Globe? No, but apparently Jaren went on with Professor Dave, douchebag Professor Dave. Can you imagine how douchey a live stream with Glober Jaren and not a Professor Dave could be? I don't know if any of you watched it. I did not. I did not even try to go find it, but I was told that he did a video with Professor Dave, and all I can say is, oh my god, the douchebaggery must have been off the charts. Off the charts. Douchey. Like the ultimate douchebaggery duo. Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Hey, Karen, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Oh, pretty good. Good morning. Hey, I wanted to say for someone who hasn't watched the video of him bleeding out, so I can't tell if that part is fake or not. I don't want to watch it. I'm glad you didn't show it last week on your stream. But I think it's a setup, and here's my reasons why. I think he could still be alive too, being whisked away in the SUV. And I did watch the guy who said he was too tall for the SUV, so they had the door open on the way to the hospital. Mm-hmm. And then the hospital would have to be lying as well. And you know what I mean? So that's a little out there. But the number 33 all over the event, Patel saying, "See you in Valhalla," and the shooter standing in front of a computer with Valhalla, New Zealand on the computer. Bill Ackman giving the family $1 million for turning their son in. The father being a deputy sheriff. All sounds like Freemasonry.
I looked into that. The father was not a deputy sheriff.
What was he? Just a policeman?
He wasn't a policeman or law enforcement.
Oh, at all?
At all.
I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, I looked into it. It was like apparently like a friend, a family friend, or a neighbor that was like a sheriff or something, but it wasn't his dad.
Oh, okay.
11/11.
And then Charlie's father was an architect for Trump Tower.
Yeah, I saw that.
The crime scene being cleaned up so quickly, even by the whatever the group's called, the college campus group. I can't think of the name. And Candace said she saw the video of him behind him and said there was no blood at all. And she thought that was very sus. So there was so much blood going out the front. Again, I haven't seen that video, so I can't comment on that.
Yeah, that video has not been released to the public. I saw that she said she saw it, so I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, I was talking about the blood from the front, too. So I hadn't seen that one either. So I can't, it's too gory for me. I don't want to watch that. And I feel like I'm being manipulated. And that's another thing. All the children that have saw this, you know, on X, the feed, you couldn't pause it. You know what I mean? All of the, it's demoralization, as you said it. You put it in my words, I couldn't think of it. These are acts of demoralizing the public, you know, go off on a tangent real quick. But, Epstein files, we're going to give them to you. Nope, we're not going to give them to you. It's back and forth. It's bring your hopes up. Trump, Obama, hope and change. Trump, we're going to release the Epstein files. January 6th, RFK, or JFK files, MLK. We're going to do all this stuff, and ain't shit happened in 100 and how many days now? And it's never going to happen. It's like bring our hopes up and dash them down. It's a form of MK Ultra. It's a form of trauma, mind control. So anyway, and to do that to all those little children, to see the blood gushing. I haven't seen it again. Maybe I should watch it. Karen, should I watch it?
I don't know if you want to. So
I'll know if it's fake or not.
If you want to for that purpose, but like you said, I didn't even really choose to watch it. I was just scrolling when it happened in the middle of the day. And then of course the entire platform of X just lit up about it. And it's like videos were starting to be uploaded and passed around very quickly after it happened. And they just start playing. So it's like you can't even look away.
Is that suspicious in itself? Like being forced to watch it?
Oh, that's what I'm saying. They wanted.
Oh shit! I didn't mean to watch that.
That's what I'm saying. They want us to see the horrible shit that they do.
Totally, it's traumatizing. It's on purpose because X and Facebook and all the censorship, and you can't see all this other shit. But we'll show you this. You know what I mean? Anyway, and I think Charlie was MK Ultra too. He's very autistic, and I think he had Tourette's. All his facial tics.
Who?
I don't know if anybody else thinks that, but I think that he's got autistic for all the memory stuff, and the Tourette for his facial tics. He couldn't keep his face still at all.
Who?
Ever. And then
wait, who are you talking about? Are you talking about Charlie Kirk?
Yeah, Charlie Kirk.
Oh, okay.
Do you think he has Tourette?
I don't know.
Maybe I watch everything on double speed. His facial tics are just out of control. And then his wife, she was, what was she? Miss Arizona USA title 2012. I don't know if that was a Donald Trump pageant at that point. Miss USA, I think it was Miss Universe.
I think Trump was running the pageant at that time.
See, there's another connection. It's a whole Freemason.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Jesuit.
That's what I'm saying. The wife is very suspect. Like it's not, a lot of people aren't really, I don't know, maybe they'll start talking about it, but they started talking about how they think the wife is the handler. And I started looking at that and like who her mom was and who their connection was. And I was like, because she's beautiful, right? She was a beauty queen. She was gorgeous. And Charlie Kirk looks like a freaking bobblehead.
I know.
And I'm like, how did he get this hot wife? Well, maybe she was put like given to him, like, we're going to put you in here. You're going to be like our little control mechanism for Charlie, and they get to paint this beautiful picture of like the white Christian family with their white babies.
Family with the kids. And yeah, exactly. It's a total, and she's a terrible actress.
Yeah. And she's like not grieving at all. 2 days later, she's giving a speech in his office. I don't know about other people, but when something horrible happens in my life, like if somebody I care about passes away, I don't really, the first day I'm like, oh, whoa, that's crazy. And I'm sad about it, but it doesn't really hit me until 2 days later. Like 2 days later, I will be crying my eyes out. It's weird. It's a weird delayed reaction.
And we go inwards. And we're introverts. We go inwards.
Yeah, but like once you start processing it, like those first few days, like I'm a mess. There's no way I'm giving a speech when my husband's head got blown, why he got blown up in front of everybody, not blown up, but killed in front of everybody. I wouldn't be like making speeches in his office 2 days later. There's no freaking way. And the way that they all just kind of swooped in, like in just a few days, it was almost like they had it pre-planned, like, how are we going to handle this after we take out Charlie? And like they just kind of like swooped in there and started taking over TPUSA. So, that's kind of my thoughts on it. I could be wrong.
Totally. And she, did you see her last night in the funeral? I didn't watch it, but I saw the little clip of her saying, "I forgive you." Just like Christ said, "I forgive you." It was so fake because I could see unauthentic people. I could tell when people are lying immediately. She is a total fraud. And doing it for the money, probably. Doing it for, I don't know, some bloodline family thing either. And even, like, going off like a tangent, Kansas says there's a whole bunch of CIA that gave the doorbell footage. They're all part of, like, valves and back to Israel. And the CIA, they control valves and for on-off for gas pipelines and other shit. I'm going to a big tangent about it. But even the doorbell footage, and then him jumping off the thing, he didn't have a rifle in his backpack, jumping off the roof. And that's all sus, too. It's just that it screams of a Fed operation to me, all of that. And I'm sick of it. I get depressed. I don't know if you do, Karen, of that people can't see it. Other people just can't see what I see. It just makes me so upset. Like, I want to shake people. Are you falling for this shit again?
Yeah.
And lastly, I think some of these people are still alive. Epstein's probably still alive. Charlie Kirk's probably still alive. Kenny Lay from Enron's probably still alive. I have this theory of that they're part of the Fed office and part of their payoff is to live in Valhalla, live in the outer lands, live somewhere else, high off the hog, after they've done their mission. I don't think you can get people to do this shit on fear of being killed, but the reward is wealth and freedom and glory and whatever else. You know what I mean? There has to be some reason that they would go along with the Fed op. That makes sense?
It would. Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, it's possible. I just find it more unlikely than they just were like, oh, he's not doing what we want him to do anymore. This could be really bad for us. We better kill him.
Yeah, there was a show called Burn Notice where they burn a CIA. But I didn't really watch that show. But Burn Notice, when they become not useful anymore as an agent, they give them a burn notice. But that doesn't always mean they kill them. That means that they're taken out of the public. To me, anyway. That's my theory.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Well, they're definitely out of the public.
Yeah, you're not ever going to see Charlie Kirk anymore, at least with that face. I mean, they do facial reconstruction. Or, you know what I mean? And her taking over TPUSA. And then now I'm just wondering who all is an op as well. Charlie Kirk, even Candace. Everything's looking sus to me now. Everybody
Candace
is looking
for sure.
like...
She's Candace for sure is sussy because, you know, before all this happened, like months ago, my sort of what I was using for like a litmus test there for a minute was who backs up the Tates. Candace Owens, her husband is like best buds with Andrew Tate, and she backed both of them up, interviewed them, defended them, you know, and I was like, oh, well, clearly she's shady as fuck.
Yeah, I don't want to think that way because all the good work she's doing on Macron's wife and even on the shooting so far, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but you know the best way to control the opposition is to lead it.
Yeah, the only thing else is just to totally let it all go. You know what I mean? Mentally, like, just don't watch any more of it. You know, like, and even the truth tellers. You know, look at Patel and Dan Bongino, all the lies, the Pam Bondi, the Trump, what a fraud he's been. Like, you know what I mean? He hasn't done shit that got him elected. He's even worse. He's going to enslave us all with Palantir and you know what I'm saying? And the police state and the mark of the beast or whatever he's got cooking and coming. Anyway, and it's so depressing to me. And I know you can relate to that. That's why I wanted to talk to you and call in today. Like, it's I don't know the answer. How just to stop watching it altogether? Like, turn your TV off, turn your internet off.
Well, definitely take breaks from it at the very least. You know, try to take breaks from it. Do something that's nice to do in real life. Enjoy good weather. Go have a picnic. Go on a walk. I don't know, whatever it is you do for extracurricular activities.
Yeah, totally. It's addictive, and it's on purposely addicted. It's a storyline. It's all a play. It's all. And they love magic.
Yeah, well,
It's not really magic. It's sleight of hand. It's look, my left hand's doing well. My right hand's doing this.
It's social engineering. They're manipulating the society and the government and the way people think so that they can get their agendas. That's what you have to pay attention to, not really so much the event itself and all the minutia surrounding the event, you know, which is just a complete disaster when you start looking at all of that. And maybe that's even by design. Like, people get so distracted with trying to deconstruct the event and be like murder mystery investigators, right? That they're not paying attention to the effects of what this event has enabled people in power to do, or what they're using it for, like taking our rights away, taking free speech away, making bullshit anti-Semitism laws, you know? Doing things to erode at the Constitution.
Looks like what they're doing, and
that's exactly what they're doing.
The pushback on paying bond aid, but
yeah,
Israel's all for that, and obviously the UK, and yeah, it's to get us all invested in it too, and distracted, and and emotionally upset, and it's terrible. Anyway, on a lighter note, can I tell you something funny?
Sure.
I was thinking of you the other day in your Sasquatch. Bigfoot, and I remember I had as a child I had a nightmare about Sasquatch, and I remembered, I'm like, what TV show was that on? My parents were like, we shouldn't have let him watch that. It was the $6 Million Man. If you want to laugh,
I remember that.
Look at it was Andre the Giant.
Yeah,
in the Sasquatch outfit. It's so cheesy.
Yeah,
you gotta watch a clip of it, Karen. It's so funny how bad the special effects were back then. Oh, anyway. All right, well, good talking to you, Kieran. You're on my sanity when I get a little wound up with this shit. But I just wanted to tell you those details of why I think it's set up. And I'm hard to, my intuition goes, I'm hard to be convinced otherwise. Because I've seen this pattern over and over and over. It's their MO. It's what they do.
Yeah.
Who is it? I'm trying to think of the name. Occult Symbols in the Pop Culture. He did a good one on, there's a book written. I don't know if I can look it up fast enough. Kill the King Ritual or something. It's a Masonry. There's a book written up about it. And it was calling Charlie Kirk that. Let me see if I can find it super fast. Oh, shit. Just the title of it. Oh, my computer's not working out. There we go. I have it in my watch later thing. Here we go. Let's see if I can find it fast enough. Not that it matters. Do you watch him at all? Isaac Weishaupt?
No.
Occult Symbolism and Pop Culture. He really knows his shit about secret societies and the Illuminati. He's written many books. It's not in here. Charlie Kirk, that's not it. I thought I had it in here. Okay. Anyway, if you find, it's one of his last videos, and I haven't listened to the whole thing. That's why I have it in my, I can't find it fast enough. I want to know the book name, and I'll listen to that fully. Maybe call you back next week if he had some really good insights in it. But it does seem to be a ritual they're doing to, like I say, and you said it perfectly, demoralize us. Get our hopes up and then dash them. Get our hopes up and then dash it.
Yeah, they do that all the time.
It's a trauma-based mind control. Yeah. All right. Well, great talking to you, Kieran. I won't keep you too much longer.
All right. Thanks for calling.
Have a great day.
You too.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Dennis. Hey, Mark Sargent. The vice president did his Turning Point broadcast, did he? Notice the kitty cat? Yeah, that's my baby kitty cat. That's Foxy kitty cat. I disagree with everything this caller is saying. Zero evidence for these claims. Okay. Not 15 minutes after Charlie was shot, the camera guy stood in the chair and he was sitting in to remove the camera that was behind him. Yeah. They say that that guy allegedly took the memory cards out to save them so nobody would take them, and apparently they've been given to the FBI. Don't worry, it's in good hands, you guys. It's in good hands. And Candace Owens has seen it. So whatever, so it's legit. What Candace says about Macron's wife is one of the few things she's actually mistaken about. It's a big club and you ain't in it. Yeah, I know that much. Spycraft. Who knows if they've been putting chemicals in all the water bodies on Earth? Well, I mean, a lot of water does have chemicals in it because, like we were discussing earlier about Big Pharma, I mean, a lot of those drugs that goes through people's system and then they pee it out and then it goes through the sewage system, but their sewage filtration system isn't good enough to pick up all those little tiny itty bits from all those pharmaceutical products, and they just go right on through. So it's like you are possibly drinking peed out pharmaceutical byproducts of all different kinds every time you drink water out of the tap. Just water straight from the tap. Which is why, I highly recommend never, ever, ever drinking tap water. Get a reverse osmosis water system. Reverse osmosis with a mineral remineralizer will give you good, healthy, drinkable water with no fluoride and no pharmaceutical products. Trust me, it's the best. You can distill water, but then you just get straight stripped water with absolutely no minerals or nutrients in it whatsoever. And I actually didn't feel good drinking exclusively distilled water. I didn't really like it. I felt like it wasn't quenching my body. Like I would drink it and it would be cool and refreshing, but I felt like my body was like, but that's not enough. There's something missing. And it's like the minerals, you need that. Those essential minerals, you need some, not fluoride. Apparently Macron's wife is going to be submitting photographic evidence he's a woman. That's hilarious. JFK was a kill the king ritual, yeah. Yes, there can be fake shootings. I don't think this was one of them. Think Macron's wife is female? I have no idea. I really don't care about Macron's wife. I don't care what it is. To be honest with you, I just don't care. I don't care. I care about being left alone. I care about maintaining my individual God-given rights as a human being. I care about this country not, spiraling down the toilet bowl of tyranny and technocratic oppression. That's what I care about. Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Hey, this is Dennis. What's happening?
Hey, Dennis. What's going on?
I've got a final exam in introduction to automotive technology tomorrow, and I should be good for it. But I admit I was procrastinating the past few days, and a book I've been meaning to read for a long time, and I pretty much knocked it out, and I wanted to make a comment because I don't know if most people think about these things. It has to do with the Apollo program. The book isn't specifically about that, but in my perspective, it's related to it. And I just wanted to make a comment about that because there's a different book. The book I'm talking about is politics, but there's a different book that I think it's very related to, which has to do with the 1960s. And I'm pretty certain I gave Mark Sargent a copy of it a while back, around the first week that Patricia returned to his show last year. But I don't think I've given a copy of it to you, but I will as soon as I get a chance, probably before the end of the year. The title of it is Operation Moonglow, and the author's her name is Teasel Muir Harmony, and she's at the National Air and Space Museum in Washington, D.C. She's the curator of the Apollo collection and the exhibits, and not of the whole museum, but specifically of the Apollo stuff. And you can find her all over YouTube on interviews. But this book, Operation Moonglow, it's a political history of Project Apollo, and it covers the entire 1960s, and basically from the I won't go into all the detail, but the big picture of it, it got its biggest boost. Although NASA was founded in the 58 and the latter years of the late 50s and the latter part of the Eisenhower administration, it was the Kennedy administration, Kennedy and Johnson both, the Democrats, that gave NASA its big boost. And the Mercury, Gemini, Apollo programs, it goes into all of that in great detail. It's the best book, and it's a mainstream source. I mean, she believes in the Apollo programs and all, but that's beside the point. It's of this book. That's not what the book is about, whether it was fake or real. She says that the science was not the main point of it, and that's not just her opinion. All the founding documents of it from the Kennedy administration, they say, and there were people back then that she quotes, that the point of it is the propaganda and the political purpose, not the science part. To me, that's a very important admission from a mainstream source, and it had to do with the U.S. Their reputation in the world was going down. They had tried to invade Cuba and lost in 1961. They went into Vietnam and lost. Militarily, they were suffering humiliating defeats. The space program put it back on the map in a big way. It was a big lie, but it influenced the world. And one piece of content, because it's significant, I'll mention from the book. I think I mentioned it before. NASA is their specific duty as far as propaganda. That was focused specifically on American and North Americans in general, and the U.S. Information Agency, which was if a less well known, it was a more richly funded. It was the biggest propaganda organization in the world, and that was devoted to the rest of the world. Like the Voice of America is a subsidiary of the U.S. Information Agency, and the colleges, universities, TV, bureaus, and all for all countries in the world, the USSR and others, the USIA was all over that. And the moon program, I think it was like 4% of the entire budget of the U.S. in the 1960s. Anyway, this book goes into all that better than any book I've seen, and it's not some conspiracy book, but I think it's a godsend for the flat Earth community and the moon. The people who don't believe the moon landing was real. It's Operation Moonglow by Teasel Muir Harmony, and I know I talk a lot, but just I'll mention the other book I mentioned. It's because I'll say this. She mentioned the between the dichotomy, the difference between Eisenhower, who did believe in space travel and all, but he wasn't real excited about it. He didn't promote it yet. It was Johnson who promoted it and made it a big after Sputnik in '57, and made a big anti-communism. And he and Kennedy both, who were big anti-communists and big promoted all this. The NASA and the space program, we need to catch up with the Russians, and they got the missile gap, which is a big lie that got him elected in 1960. Anyway, she talks about that difference between Eisenhower. Eisenhower was not a skeptic technically, but of those two, he was more toward the skeptics, more toward that position. What I did want to say, one thing this book doesn't go into is the wider international view, the Chinese and the Russians and the U.S., because the Chinese and the Albanians, they had a split around that time in late 50s, 1960, between the Russians and the Chinese. And the Russians were they were basically penetrated, and they started to be penetrated by the Americans and American culture. And the Chinese, by and large, they went on with the old Stalinism, the old communist principles. They maintained them. And basically like the Soviet Russia sold out in the 1960s. But China never printed articles about the moon landing. And I would say within America, perhaps the more militant half of the of the civil rights movement, like the Black Panthers and all those kind of people, were more inclined to cry BS at the space propaganda from NASA. The more moderates like Martin Luther King and others were more inclined to go with the flow and accept that BS. Although they both had the same ultimate objective, but the Chinese had, especially as the 60s progressed, they fell out with more and more with the Russians. The opposite of they are now. They're best of friends today. But in the 60s, it's very interesting that the Chinese didn't buy into that. But the book, I won't go into it in depth. Black Crusader, the biography, it's actually an autobiography spoken to Robert Carl Cohen. It's the autobiography of Robert Franklin Williams, Robert F. Williams, and he's the godfather of the militant wing of the civil rights movement, of the Black Panthers and all. His story's been ignored in most people, but it is the most profound history I've read of the 1960s. And he talks about the Kennedy administration came after him. Robert Kennedy hated the J. Edgar Hoover and the FBI, but they were united in wanting to kill, murder Robert Williams, and they allied with the Klan, chased him out of they were after him to kill him, and he had to flee, and he got refuge in Cuba. This book, he spent 5 years there before going to China, and he was good friends with he was good friends with Malcolm X, but he's very similar to Malcolm X, but he's much more knowledgeable and more richer of understanding. But it's got, in his talk about Cuba, he's got differences between the Communist Party USA, who were, because of their connection with Russia, they were sellouts. They were like white liberals in the 60s, where the Chinese, it was a big difference, and they were competing for influence in Cuba. And I won't go into all the details, but how Che Guevara got singled out and, by these people, and he denounced the Soviet Union, saying they're a bunch of sellouts, and they're eventually going to fall into degenerate into capitalism, which is exactly what happened. Mao Zedong was not like that. He was in agreement with Che Guevara and Fidel, and anyway, it's marvelous history. But I'm seeing how this parallels with the space propaganda, and how the Soviets, they had connections. He could see, Robert Williams, between certain elements in the bureaucracy in the Cuban government, not so much in China. During the Cultural Revolution, that weeded them out pretty hardcore. I'm agreeing with the Cultural Revolution. I think a lot of most people in the USA hate it because they're so brainwashed into hating everything about Mao. But there were some elements in the bureaucracy of Cuba and in Russia that had connections with the CIA. Although they couldn't control those governments, they could manipulate them. And I perceive that those connections are the same kind of connections, probably more often with the same people or similar groups, how they could coordinate the space propaganda with the Soviets, with the Soviet bureaucracy, so they could isolate Stalinists and people who put out BS like the Khrushchev. Basically, when Khrushchev took over from Stalin from 56 on, that's when they started buying into this American culture and rubbish, and they got a space program. Stalin never claimed to have a space program because he didn't have one. He was an honest man, unlike Khrushchev, which was the big promoter of atheism because it's atheist science. But anyway, those two books, and I think most people perhaps wouldn't consider them in tandem, but I think they illuminate more when taken together. Black Crusader, the biography of Robert F. Williams, as narrated to Robert Cohen, and Operation Moonglow, a political history of Project Apollo by Teasel Muir Harmony. And, that's all I got. Forgive me for being so, as Mark Sargent would say, loquacious.
All right, Dennis. Thank you.
We'll see you.
Bye. Thank you, Carrie B, for the tip on Ko-Fi. Appreciate you very much. Thank you so much. Leaves are changing. It's an earlier fall this year. Yeah, Ted and I were standing out in the woods the other day, and the wind blew, and all these leaves started coming down. It was like raining leaves. I was like, here it come. Here it come. I'm hearing rumble of there being a harsh winter this year, so we shall see. Maybe we'll get some snow. Do you know anyone going to college and that was following CK? I do not know any college-age people in college, so I cannot confirm or deny this. I just know what I see online. He brings his bibliography every time, though, yeah. If he says melted buildings, I'm out. No, Dennis does not talk about melted buildings, except to, like, joke about it. I will say that. So he reminded me of this that I saw floating around. Trump executive order quietly declared that NASA is now a spy agency, right? Because it's not about space travel. The Trump administration issued an executive order late last month, quietly declaring that NASA will operate as a national intelligence and security agency going forward. The order stipulates that the agency will now have, as a primary function, intelligence, counterintelligence, investigative, or national security work. It's a major departure for the agency, right? Sure it is. Which is historically focused on space exploration as well as space and Earth sciences over its 67-year lifespan. No mention of that science and exploration stuff, NASA Watch founder Keith Cowing, a former scientist at the agency who now closely follows its internal and external politics, wrote in a blog post. There are signs that Trump's intentions behind the order were at least partially related to labor concerns rather than spycraft. The order also added NASA to the Federal Service Labor Management Relations Statute, excluding it from collective bargaining representation. What does that mean? The news that NASA will now be a spy agency was seemingly overshadowed in the media by the president's elimination of union rights for thousands of federal employees mere days before Labor Day, despite multiple lawsuits challenging the change. The change of status outlined in the order will also affect other agencies and subdivisions of the government, including the International Trade Administration and the National Weather Service. Oh, so the Weather Service is going to be a spy network too. Okay, gotcha. The move sparked a protest outside of NASA's Washington, D.C. headquarters earlier this week. A huge part of the reason that I have that independence and that my colleagues do is that as a union represented worker, I know that I am protected from unfair retaliation. Goddard Engineers, Scientists and Technicians Association Area Vice President Monica Gorman told the crowd, Trump's latest declaration comes at a turbulent time for NASA. The White House has already threatened to cut the agency's science budget in half for the next fiscal year, potentially putting dozens of major space missions on ice. They're like, your propaganda isn't working. we're gonna refunnel the funds to a new wave of propaganda. You guys are toast. While lawmakers have come up with a far more lenient revision to the proposed budget, NASA is quickly running out of time. Trump's most recent re-imaging of NASA also underlines the president's desire to militarize space and commitment and send boots to the moon and Mars, as interim NASA Administrator Sean Duffy recently put it. That's hilarious. Hilarious. The president has also proposed sending weapons into space for the first time as part of a proposed Golden Dome missile defense program. Oh, sweet Jesus. Now we're back to like Reagan area Star Wars space propaganda. Raising concerns over space arms race with United States adversaries. Meanwhile, space science has taken a back seat, with Duffy vowing last month that NASA will give up on all of these earth sciences, highlighting the White House's dismissal of climate change and anti-science stance. Despite its doubling down on crewed space exploration, experts warn that the United States could fall behind China in the race to return to the moon. Put it all together, and it feels as though the government is increasingly NASA's primary adversary, with the agency is expected to lose thousands of senior-ranking employees as Trump remakes the United States in his image. Everything's a spy agency. The Weather Service is a spy agency. NASA is a spy agency. We're going to be surveilling every American and make sure that you don't say anything bad about the juicy people. If you say anything bad about the juicy people, we will target you, we will silence you, and we will send you to alligator Alcatraz. The good thing is, though, that while they can, like, spy on everybody, logistically, they do not have the manpower to round everybody up that actually says these things that they don't want you to say. So, there is that. I mean, they put out a lot of propaganda. I mean, you know, if they had total control, the propaganda wouldn't be necessary. I guess that's one thing you have to keep in mind when all of this shit is going on and all this bullshit stories and you know, they're making you feel like they're gonna come get you and all that stuff. They don't have complete and total control. That's why they need the propaganda machine. Anyway. Maybe we'll get them at the Cornhusker Clink. What about 3-Eye Atlas? What's 3-Eye Atlas? Okay, I don't know what that is, so let's see. 3-Eye Atlas. What is that? Interstellar comet discovered in 2025. Oh! Let's see what science.nasa.gov says about the comet 3-Eye Atlas. NASA missions are working together to track and study this rare interstellar comet as it passes through our solar system. Comet 3-Eye Atlas is the third known object from outside our solar system to be discovered passing through our celestial neighborhood. Astronomers have categorized this object as interstellar because the hyperbolic space of its orbital path. Shape of its orbital path. It does not follow a closed orbital path about the Sun. When the orbit of 3-Eye Atlas is traced into the past, the comet clearly originates from outside our solar system. So it's not orbiting the Sun, it's orbiting something else. Gotcha. Don't chew on my headphones wire, little one. No, no. No, no. Don't do that. Okay, are you done sitting on my lap, little kitty cat? Alright. Comet 3-Eye Atlas poses no threat to Earth and will remain far away. The closest it will approach our planet is about 1.8 astronomical units, about 170 million miles or 270 million kilometers. 3-Eye Atlas will reach its closest point to the Sun around October 30th, 2025 at a distance of about 1.4 astronomical units, just inside the orbit of Mars. The interstellar comet's size and physical properties are being investigated by astronomers around the world, should remain visible to ground-based telescopes through September 25, after which it will pass too close to the Sun to observe, and it will reappear on the other side of the Sun by early December 2025, following for renewed observations. So what's the threat? It's not saying that it's a threat. So what you talking about? Chicago artist. What's the big deal? Made a mistake by saying hi to the old guy at the end of the bar. Hey, man. Hey, Karen, just for fun, name one thing that guy just said. Whoa. Oh, it's supposed to crash on Mars? Well, I think Teasel Muro Harmony's book, Operation Moonglow, Political History of Project Apollo, is a good complement to books that debunk alleged moon travel. Operation Moonglow, Political History of a Project. Political History of Project Apollo. I don't know, there's some light flying through the sky. They don't know where it's from. Blah, blah, blah. It's from outer space. It's from deep space. It's not from here. Space is real. Big Bang's real. Okay, I fucking love science. One of the biggest space propaganda websites ever. Forget alien spacecrafts. Could Interstellar Object 3I Atlas be a planet-forming seed? Oh, come on. Spot an object from July. Okay, so it happened. They discovered it July 1st. Astronomers spotted an object moving through the solar system at nearly twice the velocity of previous interstellar visitors, Oumuamua and comet Borisov. The object, which was confirmed to be an interstellar comet with its own dusty coma, is far larger than the previous two, with an estimated nucleus of around 5.6 kilometers or 3.5 miles. Early work showed that it is of huge interest to science beyond being the third confirmed interstellar visitor. For a start, it may have come from a different region of our galaxy altogether and may be far older than any of the known bodies in our solar system. Oh my gosh, it's billions and billions of years old. The object, like Oumuamua and Borisov before it, has attracted a lot of wild hypotheses, including the outlandish suggestion that it could be an alien spacecraft. Ah, okay. While that idea is far-fetched and unnecessary to explain what we have seen of the comet, there are a few interesting mysteries which observing these objects could help resolve. At the joint meeting of the Euro Planet Space Congress, blah 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 blah, presented the idea that they could act as planet seeds. Oh my god, shut up. Planets form in protoplanetary disks, vast strings of dust, and dust which gradually accrete into massive bodies through collisions, either rocky planets or the cores of gas giants. Because when things exist in a vacuum, they bump together, they congeal. They do not expand to fill the space of the vacuum. They actually do the opposite, and they come together. So gases, which normally expand to fill the space, suddenly, mystically, magically want to congeal and form a planet. Protoplanetary disks. Give me a freaking break. Because you guys have watched so many planets form over the years, right? There are issues with this model. Yeah, like so much pointing to it being bullshit, including massive planets astronomers have found which appear too young to have formed. Oh, because you guys actually know the age of stuff anyway. Two potential problems with this scenario have been found. A relatively long formation timescale, especially for giant planets, and growth barriers during the accretion process. What's a growth barrier during the accretion process? You mean like being in a vacuum? Infinite expanding vacuum? Is that a barrier to the accretion process? Maybe. The accretion model requires timescales of 10 to the second to 10 to the fourth power year to form millimeter to centimeter sized pebbles. I mean, this deep time frame is so ridiculous. So absolutely ridiculous. I can move my camera up now because there's no cat. But the whole deep space time thing is just, what a joke. It has, of course you need these ridiculous amounts of time. Oh, but there's a problem. 10 to the fourth or 10 to the sixth power year until the planetesimal stages reach 10 to the sixth to 10 to the seventh year to form terrestrial type planets, and an additional 10 to the fifth year for the gas giants to accumulate their gas. Yes, it takes a very long time to round up all those gas particles in the vacuum. This seems at odds with observations of the disk frequency in young clusters, which indicate the median protoplanetary disk lifetime to be merely 1.3 million years for both dust and gas. Whatever. Sounds gay. Dennis says he's going to send me the Operation Moonglow book because they have no importance of highlighting the key points of history and space propaganda. That's okay, Dennis. I have to say, you do send good books. I like that Flavius Josephus book. That's an interesting one as far as like Bible history and all that. I find that one interesting. We all came out a black hole. Ha ha ha. A particular problem is that models of planet formation struggle to explain how objects larger than around a meter form, as simulations suggest boulders bounce off each other or shatter when they collide, rather than coalescing into a larger object. Oh, you think? According to interstellar objects could function as seeds for fast and efficient planet formation. Oh, okay. So you need a big rock like a comet. Yeah, a comet, a big rock, because that already has gravity forming. And then all the smaller rocks will just stick to the big rock. They don't bounce off of that one, especially when traveling as fast as a comet. No. They'll just get sucked right up into it. I mean, what a joke. Interstellar objects may be able to jumpstart planet formation, in particular around higher mass stars. Interstellar space would deliver ready-made seeds for the formation of the next generation of planets. Right. High mass stars would draw more interstellar objects towards them due to our old friend and foe, gravity. Oh, see? Where they could accelerate planet formation by providing a site of nucleation. In simple terms, if a small object smashed into it, see, these larger seeds would not break apart. See what I just said? I just said, would not break apart as easily nor bounce off, and the result is faster planet formation. Yeah, because gravity, man. Gravity. Higher mass stars are more efficient in capturing interstellar objects in their disks. Therefore, interstellar object seeded planet formation should be more efficient around these stars, providing a fast way to form giant planets, and their fast formation is exactly what we have observed. Oh yes, this totally backs up our observations of fast planet formation, because we watched planets form quickly all the time, and now we know why. Interstellar space would deliver radio. I already read that. This idea, if correct, could also explain why gas giants like Jupiter and Saturn are rarer around smaller stars like M dwarfs. Gas giants around sun-like stars are also problematic, as the protoplanetary disks are expected to last around 2 million years before dissipating, not providing a long enough timescale for gas giants to form. In this scenario, an interstellar seed would speed up the process significantly. Ah, yes, interstellar seed. It's an interesting idea, and one which will surely be tested as we get more information about these interstellar objects and hopefully observe many more. If correct, it could mean that Earth or other planets which formed later on in the universe may be partly of interstellar origin. Oh my gosh, you mean Earth is of interstellar origin? Oh, mind blown. This seeding scenario implies that planet formation was slower in the earliest generations of stars. planetary differentiation will surely disperse the original interstellar object material, which is also less than 0.1% of the mass of even a terrestrial planet. The bulk planetary compositions will be dominated by that of the disk, yet ISO's form an ancient star may have once been the hearts of many young planets. Right. Ow, ow, ow! Don't kill me. Further study of these objects and planetary formation is needed, but the team suggests we may need to include interstellar objects in our planetary formation models in the future, because we still don't know shit. So we're just going to make up some new shit, because our old shit is boring to talk about now. So we decided to make up some new shit about this light we saw, this light we took a picture of, this light in the sky, and it gave us new ideas about how planets are formed. Yeah, we now know everything. Yes. What a joke. Is Liz trying to figure out what to pack? Yeah, it's going to be much more mild weather when you're here, Liz. No, no, little cat, don't do that. Don't claw my furniture. Stop it. Oh, what a little terror. You know, Liz, if you need heavy coats or something, you don't have to bring any heavy coats, but if it does get cold, trust me, we got you. We got lots of coats here. So just bring like moderate to light type of clothing. Hold on, this cat is shredding my chair. You little tyrant, get over here. Oh my goodness. Still be hot to me, probably. New FE article. Ooh, let's see. Aristotle discovered the world is round, one of the first important scientific theories. Who found out the world is round? More than 2,000 years ago, Aristotle decided the whole flat earth thing didn't add up. So now it's Aristotle who discovered the earth is round? Oh, come on. There we go. Key takeaways on who discovered the world is round. Aristotle, working in Athens in the 4th century BC, discovered that the world is round. Aristotle first discovered that during solar eclipses, Earth's shadow always appeared on the moon's surface as a circle. He realized that only one object could invariably cast its shade in that shape, a sphere. And second, different stars and constellations are visible from different latitude, blah, blah, blah. Okay, but did Aristotle know about the polarization of light? Did Aristotle know about the polarization of light? Because he probably didn't. And if not, then that would cause him to make an incorrect assumption about eclipses. And this is, wait a minute. And isn't he talking about lunar eclipses? Did they mistype? Because Aristotle first discovered that during solar eclipses, Earth's shadow always appeared on the moon's surface as a circle. That's a lunar eclipse. They just mixed eclipses in this description. They don't even know what they're talking about. They don't even talk about the right eclipse. Okay, retards. And second, different stars and constellations are visible from different latitudes. If Earth were flat, everyone everywhere would be looking up at the same sky. Blah, blah, blah. We are looking at the same sky. We're just looking at different parts of it based on our location. It's not that difficult. By the late Middle Ages, much of humanity was on the same page about Earth's shape. No, they weren't. Okay, almost any way you look at it, Earth's surface appears flat. The average adult standing on an expanse of perfectly level ground can see just 3 miles to the horizon, not nearly far enough to observe the curvature directly. Even the summit of Mount Everest doesn't offer sufficient vantage. Well, thank you. At least you admit that. You know how many retards say you can see Earth's curve from Mount Everest? It's so disgusting. To fully appreciate Earth's arc with your own eyes, you must view it from at least 35,000 feet above sea level. No. Even at 35,000 feet, you're not seeing. So you think you only need to go up another 10,000 feet from Mount Everest to go from seeing a flat line to a curve as just another 10,000 feet? That's it? Okay, well, so this is wrong. An altitude only accessible by plane. In other words, no living human before the 20th century had first-hand experience of our planet's true shape. Yet nearly all educated people today recognize this apparent flatness as an illusion. We have a single man to thank for that, the Greek philosopher Aristotle, working in Athens in the 4th century BC, according to historian James Hannam, author of The Globe, How the Earth Became Round. Oh God. Aristotle was the first and only person to deduce that, contrary to all common sense, the ground beneath his feet curved imperceptibly. His discovery then spread, gradually, around the world. It took over 2,000 years to happen, Hanam says, but ultimately everyone from China to America knows the Earth is a globe. Who discovered the world is round? Intuitive as the flat Earth model seems, it poses obvious problems. For example, if Earths were flat... Oh, here we go! If Earth was flat, ships would simply become smaller and smaller as they sailed away from the shore. Instead, they disappear below the waves when they cross the horizon. And why doesn't the ocean cascade over Earth's outer rim? Oh... Boy, conundrums like these left Aristotle second-guessing what his eyes told him. Yeah, I'm sure Aristotle was like, why isn't the water spilling over the edge of the flat Earth? Take me to the edge of flat Earth. I want to see the water spilling over the edge. I'm sure that he thought that. Oh my God, give me a fucking break. As he marshaled evidence for sphericity, 2 astronomical observations proved especially compelling. Which discovery proved the Earth is round? First, during solar eclipses, Earth's shadow always appeared on the... Dude, they did it again! During solar eclipses, Earth's shadow always appeared on the moon's surface as a circle. That's not a solar eclipse, that's a lunar eclipse. What are they thinking? Discovery Magazine is retarded. How is this guy writing for a science magazine? He doesn't even know the freaking difference between a lunar eclipse and a solar eclipse. How? Anyway, Aristotle realized that only one object would invariably cast its shade in that shape, a sphere. Oh, you mean a round disc? A plate doesn't cast a round shadow. Oh, no. No, it has to be a ball to cast a round shadow. It can't just be any round shape. So ridiculous. An earlier philosopher named Anaxagoras had worked out a system in which these shadows could be explained by Earth being a flat disk that always faced the moon straight on, but of course, we now know it rotates. Oh, of course, we now know. Who wrote this bullshit? Cody Cottier. Cody Cottier, you are a retard. A freelance journalist for Discover magazine who frequently covers new scientific studies about animal behavior, human evolution, consciousness, and astrophysics and the environment. You're a retard. Stop trying to kill my headphones, cat. Oh my God, she's going nuts. Second, different stars and constellation are visible from different latitudes. If Earth were flat, everyone everywhere would be looking up at the same sky. Instead, each of us sees the only part that isn't obscured by the globe's curvature. Or you're only seeing the part that you can see because you're just a tiny little human on a huge plane and the stars are small and local so you can only see whatever is local to your sky within your line of sight. And that could also be the case. This logic quickly persuaded Mediterranean society, but news diffused slowly across the rest of the ancient world. Blah, blah, blah. The spreading of Aristotle's ideas. The Romans disseminated Aristotle's ideas as far afield as India, which then transferred them to Islamic philosophers in the 8th century CE, or Common Era. Western Europe lost sight of science through much of the medieval period, but the English monk Bede or whatever introduced the concept of a spherical earth to Christendom around 725. If all things are included in the outline, he wrote, the earth's circumference will represent the figure of a perfect globe. Wait, if all things are included in the outline, the earth's circumference will represent the figure of a perfect globe. Okay, whatever. There were holdouts. China, for example, with its traditional cosmology centered on a square earth, persecuted Jesuit missionaries who taught otherwise in the 1600s. Ooh, Jesuits? It was very late in history that you could safely say everybody in the world is being brought up to believe Earth is a globe. Well, until the 20th century. Nevertheless, by the late Middle Ages, much of humanity was on the same page about Earth's shape. For Europe in particular, it wasn't even a matter of controversy. Long before the Magellan-Elcano expedition completed its circumnavigation of the globe in 1522, no one doubted that, in theory, circumnavigation was possible. It's a common misconception that Christopher Columbus, when he set sail for the East Indies, sought to prove Earth was round. In fact, he took it for granted. Neither he nor any other educated European feared that the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria would plunge off the edge into space. That was merely a legend invented centuries later by the American writer Washington Irving. But you guys just said that Aristotle was thinking about it. Earlier in the article, does it not say that Aristotle thought that why isn't the water rushing off of the edge? So first he says, this guy's a retard. See, this is what I'm saying. How many people read this stupid article and don't even question any of it? New tip from Tony C. Hey, thank you, Tony C. Thank you for the tip. Hey, Dr. Law. They're counting on no one checking, right? And most people don't, Carrie. That's the thing. Most people don't. Geography, cartography, and the nautical science in the Renaissance gives evidence of both globularist and flat earther schools of thought in the Middle Ages. Other writers too. Yeah. It's AI written. He's not thinking. It could be AI. Although, I don't know if it's AI. I think if it was AI, it would probably get... it probably wouldn't mix up solar eclipses and lunar eclipses like that. I mean, that's a pretty big fuck up for somebody who's a science writer. X-15 rocket footage from the 60s shows a flat surface of 350,000 feet. Yes, I know. Hey, Dr. Law says, hey, Karen, this is just the rodeo that will be cooking at October 10th and 11th. Hey, I think we should plan, I think we're planning to go. We'll take Liz. We'll see if we can get her to actually watch a real rodeo. Yes, we'll bring, umbrellas. That'll be fun. All that assumes the Earth is causing the shadow, which it is not. Yeah, exactly. What is it? Elon Muskrat wants to probe Uranus. Aristotle was not the first Greek to postulate a globe. Pythagoras did before him. Also, writers in India and originally where Babylonia postulated a globe before any Greek writer. This part about Muslim books preserving Aristotle's globularism is actually correct. Washington Irving. Yeah, but this just says that the whole thing about water going over the edge was a legend invented centuries later by the American writer Washington Irving. But then earlier in like the beginning key points of the article, it's like Aristotle wondered, let me go back and see if I can find it. Yeah, and why doesn't the ocean cascade over Earth's outer rim? Conundrums like these left Aristotle second guessing what his eyes told him. So earlier in the article it says Aristotle in 400 BC was wondering why the ocean doesn't cascade over Earth's rim, and then later, not even very much later, it says that was made up by some other guy in the 1800s. Yeah, that was merely a legend invented centuries later. So how does Aristotle think about it? But that idea it didn't even come around until Washington Irving in the 1800s. What a retard article. How do we know the Earth isn't flat? We asked a NASA expert. Episode 53. When is this written? March 11, 2025. When they made the first orbit of Earth by sea, they knew the Earth was round, allowing them to go across one ocean and come back home the other way. If the Earth were flat, they would have sailed off the end, and so we knew that. Oh my god, this is their proof. If the Earth were flat, we would have sailed off the end, and so we knew that. Dude, it's just so ridiculous. It's an insult to human intelligence. It's insulting across the board. Just ridiculousness. If you want to understand how the lights in the sky work, understanding how light works is the key, i.e. polarization, etc. Why does no one but Karen seem to get that? I don't know. Everybody thinks it's because it's a dome. It's got nothing to do with the dome. Book from the early 1990s by Jeffrey Bertrand Russell that most of these superfluous anti-flat earth idiots quote from. Oh. Your dingo boots? I still wear cowboy boots. I got me some cowboy boots. To seeing Halloween in the States. Well, a lot of us don't really celebrate Halloween, but, I don't know. We'll see. Should we have a costume party? I like that Liz is coming back. It gives us a reason to plan to do stuff together. I mean, we do get together, pretty often as it is, but Liz is coming back from Scotland. Man, it's time to plan some parties. Plan some parties. Check out my new video when you get a chance. 2002 Blue Marble, rest of the story. Oh, it's 16 minutes long. Okay, I will watch that later. If anybody else wants to check out Raised by Gypsies video. Cat, please stop scratching my chair. What am I going to do with this cat? I'll share this. Are certain words banned from being used on here? I do have some banned words, but not very many. Jaren is one of my banned words. I forget what I put on there. There's like only a few. I have cowboy boots, so it's easy to clean chicken shit off the bottom versus my lug boots. Yeah, right? You need to go to my brother's house on Halloween night. His neighborhood has a huge turnout for trick-or-treaters. He lives 5 miles from Cami. Well, there we go. We could do that. Yeah, that's like, I probably have, that is like my banned word in chat. Basically, if you tried to use that word, you probably did get blocked. Yeah, Black Hawk Ranch Rodeo. We're gonna go to that. Esoterica gonna be spooky as costume party. No. And also, Esoterica is not happening this year. It's happening next year now. It's been postponed to 2026. Please try to stay, catch up. Stay with us. I'm just kidding. A costume party and cookout, fairies, witches, and lumberjacks welcome. That actually sounds kind of fun. What day does Halloween fall on this year? Oh my gosh, it's a Friday. Halloween's a Friday this year, too. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. No, we're not. Oh. Oh, yeah, Liz, yes, Cammy might take you to Denver for a couple days. Maybe I can have a Halloween party at my brother's house on Halloween for his Karen B. I'll see what I can do. Okay, well, you let me know, Law. You let me know. It'll be fun. We'll have fun. Let the kitty do whatever she wants. No! Are you kidding? Cats can shred things to pieces. In fact, let me go grab her right now. It's like fishing for kitty. Fishing for kitty. Fishing for kitty. She's going nutso right now. Her little heart is beating. She's like in attack mode. Are you gonna attack me? She's gonna try to get away. Get the scratching post in every room for the cat. Yeah. I need to have Ted make me some more scratching posts. We have one for her downstairs, but I don't have one up here. I need one up here because she likes to hang out up here with me when I'm streaming. Huh, kitty cat, meow meow. Are you not gonna purr for the microphone again? She won't. She really wants me to let her go. Are you gonna go crazy? Are you gonna go do bad things? Don't go do bad things. Be a nice kitty. Be a nice kitty. She goes to go scratch stuff up again. You're on the fence about going to Denver? Is Jim Brewer going to Quartzsite? I don't know. I would doubt it, but who knows? I may go as a Trans-Olympic freestyle swimmer for Halloween this year. I'm actually don't even care about Jim Brewer. I mean, the guy is like dumb as a rock. Can't we get somebody more intelligent on our side? Somebody who isn't like have a Q-tard producer? I mean, come on. Nothing happened. We're just postponing it because I think we realized that we didn't have enough time, which I said in the beginning, that it was a very short time turnaround to try to pull together a brand new event, and we realized we didn't have enough time, and so we decided to postpone it until next year. So there's an event going on in Quartzsite. If you guys have to go to an event, there's one in Arizona in November, and then we will have ours in October of next year here on the East Coast, and it's going to be the best, most magical, mystical, wonderful, mesmerizing event ever, where you can learn about the real world in an outdoor environment with hands-on things. Like, seriously, it's going to be amazing. It's not going to be anything like Flattoberfest. It is not going to be like, events I've done in the past where you have to sit in a chair and have people talk at you all day. It's going to be much more interactive, much more organic, much more like attendee led, right? So like you'll be able to wander throughout the entire property. It's a 55-acre outdoor property. So my dream is to have it so there's like things all over the place, and you're just able to walk around and discover and come across things and randomly happen across people and have beautiful, spontaneous, intellectual conversations and discussions about things. I really have a vision for what it will be, and so we're still working on that. We're just going to take our time. We're not going to rush it, and when it comes around, it's going to be the best, the absolute best festival, full of esoteric knowledge, geocentric knowledge, real world physical knowledge, alchemy, astrology, all that, all things like that, everything. It's going to be great. It'll be the best. It'll be the best event you ever went to. Nobody will have a better event. I am the master of making the best events. I'm a professional. Just trust me. Even the food will be better than Flattoberfest. Yes. Yeah. It's going to be awesome. And this time we have over a year to prepare for it. So that's what I will be working on this whole next year, is procuring the best experience for anybody who wants to come to Esoterica event. Tickets are still on sale. There should be. The website should still be up. Well, let's see. We may have to work on it, but let's see if it's still there. It is. See, and it's postponed. Now, you can still purchase tickets. I don't know if Nathan, if you're still around, did you go in and change the dates and everything and descriptions? But if you buy tickets now, they will be honored at Esoterica 2026. So everything's there. You can buy your tickets. You have a whole year to buy your tickets. And then, yeah, so everything will be the same. Setup will be the same. Yeah, and that's it. And just, prepare yourself for the most magical experience ever. It's going to be great. It's going to be tremendous. Hey, DJ Curious. October 10th and 11th. Yeah, that's the rodeo. Go to Kaipi's with you all? Well, I'm not sure, but I'm not sure about that part, but I know that we are planning to go to the rodeo when Liz gets here. We'll be doing a planning party during original dates. Yes. Everybody coming to town. What is it? October. The original dates that were supposed to be the event, which was October 17th, 18th, and 19th. We're still having a little get together here. And yes, that will be like a pre-planning event. Kaipi's is a restaurant that Dennis wants to go to. It's not the rodeo, it's different. That's why I said I don't know. It will be amazing. Don't you worry about it. Have you seen the hundreds of experiments done where if you do DMT and look through a big red laser, you can see all the letters and numbers of the matrix going up and down? Well, here's the thing with that, Austin. I have heard that question. I would like to try it myself. I'll take one for the team. I have to see that with my own eyes. You know, it's very subjective. You can't really prove what somebody's seeing when they're on hallucinogenics. Only they are the ones who are able to see it. You can't like look through their eyes. So like people can say that. I have to see it for myself. Maybe one day I will. Please repeat last 5 minutes, lost connection. Oh my goodness, Liz. Oh, 803 incoming call that I'm not hearing. I'm going to have to reset my my call window. Sorry. Try to call back. Cuz the sound cut off. You know how it do. It's like it works once and then it doesn't work ever again. So, try to call me back 803. So 16th, 17th, and 18th, 2026. I'm actually not sure. I don't think we have 100% picked a date or solidified a date. It could be 16th, 17th, or 18th, or it could be 23rd, 24th, and 25th, because usually we do it the week before Halloween. So it'd be the next weekend, but I'm not sure. Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Yo, it's 803 in a place to be.
What's up? What's up, Law?
Hey, Karen. And that's much. Yeah, it's going to be fun. The rodeo is going to be great. It's going to be on a Friday and Saturday night from 5 until 10 or 11. A bunch of country people you'll see. Mm-hmm. Just want to let you know. Yeah, and for Liz, I think, Wally World should have some hats that we can get for her when she comes here. So she don't have to worry. Don't get the real cowboy hat because that's, a couple $100 right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. But just want to let you know, the week after, which was supposed to be Esoterica, I might be able to come up there and we'll do something. Maybe on a Saturday night. I think, is that better, Saturday or Sunday night better for everyone?
What do you mean? For that weekend or?
Get together and we'll cook some food, something like that.
Okay, well, I think Saturday is a better day overall.
Yeah, Saturday. Yeah.
And Jack and them will participate because sunset's earlier, so they can come over as soon as the sun sets and hang out.
Okay, yeah, that's fun place to go that we can hold it at. I'll see what we can do. Maybe rent that clubhouse again at my brother's neighborhood, something like that.
Okay. Wait, are you talking about Halloween or? I'm confused.
Oh, no, this will be 2 weeks before Halloween.
Okay.
So that make sure that I can come to one of those at least, you know what I mean, or both, and hang out and we have a good time, cook some food. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, I think I should be free. I'm not sure exactly. I'll know later on this week for sure, and I'll let you know, and you can get everyone together, right? Mm-hmm. But yeah, and just want to shout out, about Esoterica. It's a good thing, really, that you're postponing it because it to give us more time to make it even better than Flattoberfest, right?
Oh, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. This is an annual, time period or span to get everything together would be much better than, just a couple months ahead of time.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
I didn't want to force it and then have it be less than what it could be. It's better. I feel way better about postponing it for sure.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I think it's going to be great, for whoever comes out and enjoys it because, like all the Flattoberfest that I've gone to, I've never listened to any presenters, any speakers, I anyone because I've heard it all, from everyone. Because I lurk in all the videos, So.
But you've been around a long time, Law.
Too long, Karen. To be honest with you. And I lurk even longer, in all the channels. I'm everywhere, but I just don't say too much. But I'm just glad that you're doing this because from the last Flattoberfest, during a hurricane, we should have called that Windy Fest or Rainy Fest, but we didn't have any rain. But the last one, it was the most special to me because I got the chance to listen to everyone's stories, and we had more time to talk with everyone instead of just I got to be here at a certain time to listen to this so and so and listen to this guy, that guy. that was kind of it didn't have time for people to really connect and talk to one another. So this one should be much better for everyone, and plus it's going to be more of a relaxed environment because of the campsite. Right. And of course, there's something, it's all nature, so which is going to be great. This is what in everything from the very beginning of how it should be done in the first place. But that's my take on that. And also, I just wanted to shout out Peter Jarvio again. This guy is flat smacking the hell out of everyone up there in the Kentucky, Ohio area. He's flat smacking over 100 people a day. Last week he did it until midweek because he had to stop because someone totaled his car. Now he's okay, but he's got to get everything situated and he'll be out there flat. Just to keep you posted on that, okay?
Yeah, wow, that's terrible, but he's okay.
Yeah, that's the main thing. He's okay. It's a terrible thing, but I think he has another vehicle. But he's always on the go because he's retired. He's just out there just trying to put the word out for everyone. He's doing our work for us, while we sit here and armchair quarterback for him. He makes our life a little bit easier. Okay, so, but, anywho, just lurking again as usual. I had to call in and shout out to Nathan, Commercial Sound and Video, for, doing everything he's doing to help you with the site and everything. You're gonna have music, right, Karen? Or you gonna just?
Yeah, we're gonna have music.
Okay.
We're gonna have music. It's gonna be music, art, and science exhibits.
Right. Yeah, I can see the art. All the arts. And, and we have a bunch of talented people in our community. Yeah, hopefully maybe if we have time, you have time and maybe consider putting some of these guys out there, like, open mic type deal, or just jam out, or, have some time for people to come up and talk and tell their stories. Hopefully, there'll be a lot of newbies, right? And I want to hear their stories, even though it's the same exact story as ours, take or give a few things, but it's the same exact story. I just love hearing it from people who are excited that they have come to Flat Earth and realize that this whole place has been a lie. Our history has been a lie to us. So that's what I'm excited about, and of course meeting new people. Okay, that's my main thing, and of course being around people that I know and I trust, and that they've got my back. So I'm there if you whenever I can, as much as I can.
Yep.
All right.
Absolutely. Thanks,
And,
Law.
no problem. Is Shillingtano coming down too?
Yes,
The,
he is.
On the 7th?
Yes.
Oh, damn. All right,
Shillingtano
Shillingtano.
and
Yeah.
Accidental Alchemist will be here.
Oh, really?
Yes, and Liz, of course, the Iron Maiden, and of
Oh.
course, the standard locals that all live around here. Maybe Tony Coriolis. I don't know. He was planning to
Oh,
come out
man.
here for Esoterica, but then we postponed it. So I don't know if he's going to come out here anymore or not. It's his birthday weekend.
It's the week after my birthday weekend. The rodeo is my birthday weekend.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, well, yeah. If he still, I don't know if he can. Yeah, he probably can cancel the flight, right?
I don't
Is
know.
it too late?
I don't know if he bought a flight already or not, to be honest with you.
Okay. Well, if he does, maybe he can cancel the hotel. He can come stay with me at my brother's place if I'm.
Yeah, I was
going
going to say, between all of us, I'm sure we could find some place to put Tony and he can hang out with us. So,
Yeah,
Tony,
we got plenty of parking.
you wouldn't even have to get a hotel, Tony. You just have to get here and we got you.
Yeah, and as an idea for that, if you could rent the park across from the Shriners, temple or building, that'd be good too, and we can go there.
Oh, yeah, I forget the name of that park. But yeah, I know.
Yeah. Tony hasn't been there. He probably loved that place.
That place was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was very nice. I liked it. It's one of my favorite places to cook at, actually.
Yeah, it works out pretty well there.
Yeah, so that's just an idea for you.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll figure something out. We'll get it together, and we'll have a good time. It'll be great.
Okay, great. All right, just let me know, and I'll let you know as soon as I can when I can be there on the 18th. Okay.
Okay. All right, Law.
All right.
Thanks.
I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Much love, everyone.
Hertz Claw? No, it's not Hertz Claw. But it's something like that. It's some weird name like that, Jana. You're very close. The flaming tube to show yeah, exactly. Smashed a dude last night in Power Dusty. We trying to get it uploaded. What? Hail, Ben. What's going on? Think I could go next year. Yeah, see, then next year we could get Ben out here and we could have, alchemists, astrologers, tarot readers, science nerds, science exhibits, everything. Art, music, like seriously, a true esoteric festival. Not like the gimmicky esoteric festival where everybody's walking around looking like a gypsy and there's Wiccans and blah, blah, blah. But like a true esoteric knowledge festival where people can come and share their esoteric knowledge with each other. We can learn from each other. We can, commune with each other, converse with each other. The way things should be, it's almost like a whole, like a display of the culture of geocentric earthers will be on display there, and all that encompasses. Herzog something. Herd clots. Yeah, that's it. Herd clots. We'll have the Dionysios Biblioteca there. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I got this from the guy who was at the Hurricane Flatoberfest. He's got like a whole website, and he sells, products, like alternative products that don't contain poison, big pharma, petroleum poison, anti-petroleum poison products. Fed Up. Is that what his website is called? Fed Up? The Library of the Legend, yeah. Yeah, so that's what's up. That's what we're doing. All right. Anything else going on before I wrap it up? Oh, somebody wanted me to look at this fruit picture.
Puffs right back
This video.
up like a sponge.
Let's see.
Would you look at this? Just look at this. This is supposed to be an orange. And I can squeeze it and it puffs right back up like a sponge. Y'all need to be careful what you put in here.
What I think this is, it says it puffs right out. Okay, well, what happens to oranges when they get old is they start to lose their moisture. Their moisture starts to wick out. And if you get an old orange, it'll look okay on the outside, and then you open it and it's like dry inside, and it does that. That is what I think is happening here. Let me see, what did comments say? So what happens when your fruits are dehydrated? Stop with the bullshit. Yeah, grow your... yeah, exactly. That's what it is. Your fruit is dehydrated. I mean, it could have to do with the way fruit is handled. You know, like they pick fruit when it's too young and they put preservative, waxy coatings on the outside, and then they let it sit for a long time and it doesn't ripen properly. I mean, it's just crap fruit. But I don't think it's like a result of like genetic modification or anything like that. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it could be a genetically modified orange, but I know that this happens when oranges get old and they dehydrate. So, Monsantan fruit. I don't want dehydrated fruit from the store. So, is that it, y'all? What do I think about nicotine? Nicotine makes me want to vomit. That's what I think about nicotine. I don't smoke cigarettes. I tried smoking cigarettes in high school. It made me throw up, made me feel ill. So I never smoked them. I stopped smoking, and then I never picked it back up again. And I haven't smoked a cigarette in probably like 30 years. Because it makes me vomit. Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Hey, Karen B. It's Tony Coriolis.
What's up, Tony?
Not much. Just, thinking a couple things. Okay, Esoterica now being next year.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be the Fire Horse year.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, so maybe a little tribute to our favorite Fire Horse. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
No.
Zulu.
Oh, Zulu, yes! I'm sorry, I don't remember everybody's Chinese.
Yeah, totally good. It was kind of a trick question. Sorry to put you on the spot like that.
But yes, I agree. We will definitely have a Zulu Fire Horse tribute.
Totally. That sounds good. And then, so your next show is going to be episode 200. Do you have anything planned as a special thing for episode 200?
No. What do you have any suggestions?
No, I figure, I said I was going to figure out my blood type, but it's not like that. So, episode 200, we found out Tony Coriolis' blood type. So I got the tester kit, and then there's like a little thing you gotta like poke your thumb with, to get the blood.
Mm-hmm.
And like I triggered it early, like when I was kind of just messing with it. So I tried like taking a little razor blade and cutting myself, but I'm even bad with that. So I have the sheet, and I just need to cut myself. Or if I'm like trimming bushes or something, I'll like, I don't know. So I just got to figure out how to get the blood out of myself. The little nifty thing to poke your thumb easily. I think I already triggered them. There's like a one time you can do it type of thing.
Yeah,
Does that
it's
make
like
sense?
a little contraption where you have to like hold your thumb against it and press the thing, and it pops out real quick and like stabs your thumb.
Yeah, and I've tried to like reset it, but I think I just triggered them both, like just kind of messing with it. So yeah, that's still in the works. But other than that, episode 200, I don't know if anyone else has any suggestions. I couldn't really think of anything, but I do know it's a big thing. I know I called into episode 100, so
Yeah.
I'll for sure calling on 200 with something good. My call will be good. I'll have something
Actually,
good to talk about.
today should have been episode 200, but because a couple weeks ago
The
my
streaming
stream
shit.
didn't work,
Yeah.
I just didn't count that week.
Yeah, no, I know. But yeah, so 200 is just something, I think it'll be a good episode. I'll think of something really fun to talk about. I've been digging into those almanacs and stuff, and okay. Oh, here's a question I had for you. So when you're planning out the days for Esoterica, why are you like on purpose choosing the weekend days over like weekdays? Because for me, I just take off work, and it's just as easy for me to go on a weekend than it is as a weekday. I know you said the full moon's not till that Monday, the 26th.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't want it on Monday though. You'd rather do the event on a weekend.
I mean, I just do it because, I don't know, I just assume that that's the better way to do it, but I don't really care what day it is.
Yeah, and you're probably right with the assumption that everyone would want a weekend. But myself, I could go either way. And I think it would be really magical looking with the full moon out and everyone out,
Yeah,
I'd like that.
What did I look at the moon? Hold on, let me go back to my calendar. I forget what days we looked at where,
Yeah, it was the 26th of October next year is the full moon.
So that's actually close to the weekend that I think I remember seeing that it was actually pretty close where the moon wouldn't be 100% full, but yeah, on the,
Yeah, it'd still totally be out, in those days, so.
Yeah, so on the 24th, which is that Saturday, the moon would be 98%. And Sunday, 99.7%.
Yeah, which is it'd still be all up in the sky as we're outside at night. And
yeah, so it's
I'd like that a lot.
Close enough to the full moon where you would be the nature would be lit up by the moon. It would be gorgeous.
Yeah. And yeah, just whenever it does end up going, I'm 100% in. And now that you got so long to plan, like when you planned the Vegas one, I know that you planned that one like way ahead of time, and then even last year with the hurricane, that like announcement came later than it did like for the Vegas one.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I know I kind of tracked that on. Yeah, so I get you, and I'm even fine, even if you call it like, hey, you know what? It's back on. We're doing it. I'm in. So
yeah.
I'm the easiest person out of all the events that you go in, no matter what you say.
That's awesome, Tony. Thank you.
Gotcha. And then I just wanted to shout out one little thing on how you said Erica Kirk. She kind of does have that, like, the cat eyes kind of look, and I don't know, maybe acting a little sussy now. But I was at my aunt's bar yesterday, and I was talking to this one guy who I've brought up before that I brought up Flat Earth to him, and he's, like, the most annoying guy to talk to about it, because he just thinks, like, oh, well, if it's flat, you can't dig a hole. Like, that is so not even, like, a good point, dude. Yeah, but he'll say stuff like that. So then we were talking at the bar yesterday, and apparently he went to high school with her, with Erica Kirk. They went to, like, a fancier, like, I didn't go to that I went to Saguaro High School, but then they went to Notre Dame High School, which is, like, a expensive one. You got to pay to go, for high school.
Yes. Yeah. She's got a Catholic family. She wears one of those, like, Malta crosses on her necklace, So definitely.
Yeah, that stuff is sketch.
Exactly.
But yeah, I just know I don't participate in any of that stuff. Like I have just lived my life as a simple man. My dad's a truck driver, and one other question: did Ted have his CDL for the trash trucks?
Not here in North Carolina because he did that back in Washington. So no, not anymore. I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah, I just know some place. Like I think for the city here, like I do know the people who run like the city trash stuff, and I think you got to have a CDL to do it. But yeah, just checking. Well, all right, Karen, I'm about to have my lunchtime cheeseburger and cheese fries. So.
Ooh, nice. Sounds good.
I know I shouldn't talk food, but yeah, I'll brag a little bit about that.
All right, Tony.
All right, peace out, Karen. And you said last week I'm the best. Karen, you're the best.
Oh,
thanks,
Tony.
All right, peace out.
Later. Ooh! Did you see the kitty attack? You scared me. You scared me. My goodness. You feisty little kitten, you. Feisty little kitten. So what's up? All right. Anything else? Anything else? Because I'm going to wrap it up. Can't wait to meet Foxy. Foxy. She's so cute. Little tyrant kitty, 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 mew, mew. Okay, here, go, run. All right, you guys, I am going to wrap it up, and I do appreciate you all hanging out with me on this fine Moonday morning, and hopefully I will see you next Moonday for episode 200, and looking forward to seeing you again, Liz. Can't wait till you get here in a couple days. Whoop, whoop. And yeah, have a wonderful day. I'll see y'all later. You can send physical mail to P.O. Box 10, Earl, North Carolina, 28038. You can also follow me on Ko-Fi.com, and if you enjoy my shows and want to send me a tip, anything and everything is greatly appreciated, and thank you. And it's official. Flat Earth Festivals has been retired. It was great fun while it lasted, and I hope you all cherish the memories we made at Flattoberfest as much as I do, and it was a pleasure to watch so many online friendships become in real life friendships over the years. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.